So yes, changed. It apparently doesn't have music on the title screen. That's fine. Games don't need to have music on title screens, especially if they're like horror games. I don't know if this really counts as one. So change is very transformation based. I believe it was made by a furry. I say I believe because I know he has an FA account, but that doesn't necessarily make somebody a furry. I think he's also probably Japanese, and I don't know. He does. He has a nice art style, I guess. I mean, I haven't really like followed him or anything, but I'm down. I'm down with that. I think Cairo should make a game. His art style would be better in a game, but you know, that's just because I have a preference. Now, Chain's art though, it has a style to it, and I do not mind the style. I do not mind something more jaggedy and MS Painty. Actually, I think that looks quite nice. I just like Cairo's work better, and he's here, so I'm just thinking about that. But let's begin. I know. Oh my god, it's using stock RPG Maker sounds. I have used RPG Maker plenty, so whenever there's an RPG Maker sound, I can tell you that's an RPG Maker sound. That beep. So this game won't give clues. Search immediately. I did not read the first. What did the first text box say? I did not read that because I was busy talking. It is a survival game, yes. Alright, don't bother telling me what this is about. I'm just gonna... Maybe it will if I select it. Normal is more challenging, but you're able to play through the entirety of the game. Starting now. Oh, yeah, what the fuck? Oh, it's not even letting me pick. I hate easy... Okay, I'm just gonna say this right now. I hate easy modes in games where it's like, good work, you played on the easy difficulty. This means you don't get to see the whole game. Goodbye, we're gonna end it before the last level. It's like... At least they tell you, though, here. Because some games don't do that, and then it's just like, holy shit, why did I waste my time with this? I should have just picked normal. Won't give hits, so search for clues. Oh, boy. Well, it's an RPG Maker game. Shouldn't be that hard. Oh, my god. So many RPG Maker sounds. By the way, just to mention, my own RPG Maker game, starring Zima, will not have any stock RPG Maker sounds because I consider them distracting. I'm going to make either my own sound effects or get them from other places. There's white sticky substances splattered everywhere. Good. Ellipses. Your eyes sink under the intense light, but you still take an effort to open your eyes and take a look at the situation you're in. Through your hazy eyes, you discover you're in a very unfamiliar room. Your limbs feel weak, your head is spinning, but the most gripping thing on your mind is that it feels like you haven't eaten anything in years. I loathe that, says Car. Yeah, at least they tell you. You possess nothing but a small pair of shorts. You don't even think they're originally yours. Obviously, you've been kidnapped. Your vague memories seem to align with this fact as well. You've been kidnapped by someone, they brought you here. You feel very confused, but you clearly understand the first thing you should do is escape from this room. Alright, you only have one goal for now. Let's begin. Escape the room puzzle. Multiple saves. Okay, cool. How do you save? I don't have a menu. I know an RPG Maker well enough to know that the menu button is not working. Nah, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I thought something would happen. Oh, there it is. Aha! You can't hurt me. I am in a dialogue box, and I know RPG Maker well enough to know I'm invincible during this. Never mind. I am now a goo fox or goo wolf. Go wolf. Go wolf. I seem pretty happy about it. It looks like a good ending. There, I beat the game in 1 minute with a good end. There you go. Also, I guess I can't make multiple saves right now. That's fine. Yes, everything about this is GTF, right? Oh no, it's gonna do the. Yeah, I should let me save after the cutscene, but whatever. Actually, on that note, I have not. Like, I'm into TF stuff, but like, I haven't done goo in a while. I have not done goo in a long while, actually. Pick a slot when going to a save point. Well, is there a save point in this room? I don't know what they look like. I'm just gonna hit buttons. Does nothing. That's what quitters say. Said to investigate. I will investigate. Okay. Okay, fine. Yes. What will it do? Bizarre material, huh? Actually, is this game entirely Gutiev? That seems to be the motif. This TF is more descriptive than the other one. Well, at least that time I mean, I guess the idea is to keep your existence. We're gonna have to go through this cutscene every single time. Oh well. Probably should have dropped the save point after it if you want me to go ahead and mess around. I mean, this seems like one of those games where gaining the game over is part of the point. AKA most fetish games. God, the amount of war games I've played. Actually, that one, what's it called? The one with the rat main character. Oh man, what is that game called? I forget. It has a lot of good stuff in it. That one I can't play on Twitch, though. Even though it's actually it's a surprisingly good game as mechanically, in addition to, well, fetishes. Yeah, I forget the name because he hasn't done an update in a while. I really enjoy it, though. So is that slime just going to pop up automatically after a while, or is it when I interact? Swoosh. Do not touch them if you don't want to be one of them. Avoid them. I don't know the capsule password. I just hope you awaken to read this. Be safe, survivor. Packed rat, thank you. It's in Italy. The guy who made Packed Rat also made one of the Mega Man fan games I played. It's not one of the ones I played during when I started recording the broadcasts for YouTube and highlights on Twitch. It was before then. It was a game I played that you guys might remember. It was one of the Mega Man fan games I played. The one in particular, I don't remember. I think it was Mega Man DOS remake. He like remade one of the Mega Man DOS games that actually made it a good game. But at one point in the Wily Castle stages, there was a giant dragon thing, and it actually one of the stages was inside of it because, of course, he had to do that. He just snuck Vor into this otherwise nothing to do with fetishes Mega Man DOS remake, and that kind of clued me in that he was into things. That Patrick kind of made that more clear. Kyria, maybe we should do something gooey too at some point. Endless ideas coming from me as far as collab projects or commissions. Oh, I'm not desperate enough to drink that, even though I'm desperate enough to touch sticky stuff on a wall? Okay. Oh. Okay. It's not... Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, real talk, I'm actually probably going to do the battle style, the enemy style, in a similar style to this game's main character.
At least he didn't pull a Bowers inside story.
Bowers. Bowers! The bootleg ripoff. Bowers inside story. Yeah, the art style, like the kind of, the clean, pixely, MS Painty sort of style. I feel like I'll do that for the enemy designs for Zimma's game, because I had an idea. And it was slightly inspired by Undertale, but... Oh. I have literally looked in the whole room, except for maybe there's some box that has something. Okay. I figured that would just open, considering I've literally expected everything here. Maybe if I press this switch again. Huh. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I guess maybe I need to do an interaction with the slime that isn't involved in murdering. Well, not murdering, transforming me. Game overing me. And I don't want to touch that. I mean, there's this box, but... True. I did inspect everything over more than one life. Oh, no. Is it going to be one of those... I'm not so sure. Is it going to be one of those cases where it's just... Oh, my God. Oh, God, I didn't mean to talk to that twice. One of those cases where you have to, like, trigger all the events in an area for something to happen. That's always a kind of arbitrary. That's not a game design I'll do, by the way. Zimma's game will not have you in moments like, where the fuck do I go or what do I do? And then it just turns out you didn't talk to somebody. I'm not going to have game design like that. Fuck that game design. I hate that. I want the game to have a nice... Like, I like puzzles, but I also like things not being frustrating. That's weird. I can't... Nah, I'm good. Just wanted to see something. I mean, okay. I mean, there's one thing I haven't interacted with, but that's because it'll trigger the slime. Oh. I didn't actually check the capsule. Alright. Alright, come out, slime. I don't know what I'm doing with you, but... I guess... Wait, maybe... Nope, okay. Pretty sure I've interacted with everything now. Maybe get you over the vent? No? There we go. That actually did something. Holy shit. I actually thought I was just screwing around. Oh god, it's gonna be one of these games. Okay, I tricked my way through that, but I don't think that's gonna happen on other rooms. See, if I wanted to do a puzzle like that, I would have had something like here's what I would have done for that puzzle. During the first, when expecting the vent, I would have had the dialogue box mention, there seems to be something moving inside, but I see something else behind it. To clue you in that the vent might be important, right? So then, you release the slime, and then maybe the grate could have a little extra bit to its description saying, like, just simply like, it seems to be a drainage vent or something, just to make it very clear that you could drain something down it. And then from there, I think that puzzle would be a little more reasonable. Because I had no indication there was anything in that vent aside from the slime, so it seemed like a bad idea to interact with it beyond seeing the slime's result. So I would have made that clear. It's like, oh, there seems to be something else behind whatever is in there. Like, oh, maybe it's important, you know? Not to drop the specimen? Oh, I didn't really pay attention to that, true. Still, I had no reason to think that interacting with the vent and letting the creature out after the first time would be a good idea. Like, it just seemed like a bad idea. That's what I'm trying to say. An indication that there was something worthwhile behind the slime would have been good, is all I'm saying. Excellent garbage? What does that mean? Looks like candy corn. Can I eat it? Actually, I don't want to eat anything. I just want to save. How do I save? I'm going to die before I save. I'm almost certain of this. There's so little music. It's kind of bothering me, actually. Okay. This? Ah. Okay, that's better. Well, I'll just make 4 saves, whatever. I mean, obviously, I rechecked the VIN after doing absolutely everything else, but... Oh, boy. Oh, no. Guys, I don't know if I have the brain for a puzzle game right now. I did not realize it would be tricky. And I know this note definitely said some important things that I understand on a base level, but will probably not understand when I actually see it. Unless it's very obvious. Saving others to... Sacrificing the few to save the many? What? I've only been in 2 rooms, but I already have a sinking feeling. I have a gut... Look, guys, remember, I have a fat gut, so when it comes to having a gut instinct, you can usually trust it. The bigger the gut, the better the gut instinct. You can use F12 to immediately return to the main menu if you want to skip repeating death scenes, but sometimes I miss something. What does that mean? Okay. Good to know. A serious new flu report. Huh. Been asleep a long time. Okay. Also, I'm learning that sometimes you need to interact with things more than once. Come to literary. I wait you. I wait you. You gonna wait on me? Are you gonna be my server for this evening? I'd like a burger, thanks. Oh. Oh, dog. Okay. I wasn't sure if we were doing wolf or dog. I'm down for dog, sure. Translation is definitely way better than the original. Well, the original is... I can't comment because it would be in Japanese, wouldn't it? I did not mean to interact with that twice. That's okay. Another thing that maybe I should do is when a dialogue ends in Zimma's game, maybe there should be a little sound effect, like, you know, because I always have a problem. I don't know if I'm alone on this, but I always have a problem like talking to NPCs, going through dialogue boxes, and then actually ending their dialogue, and then just immediately reopening the same dialogue because I didn't realize I ended it, so I ended up interacting with the NPC again.
I already ate your burger.
So maybe just a subtle sound effect to indicate, oh, you reached the end of the dialogue. Would be a nice quality of life, at least for people like me, which I don't know how many people like me exist, but whatever. Actually, wait. Was that a site? Okay. By the way, how long is this game? An old translation that was pretty bad, I see. I already interacted with that. Is there another slime to kill in here? Oh, I'm not allowed. Okay. I didn't technically do any progress, but I'll just save anyways. Oh. I wonder if I could trigger that glitch that I know exists with the engine. It is possible to interact with NPCs at a diagonal if they're moving erratically enough. Wait, escape, F1, wait, what do all those buttons do? Escape doesn't do anything. I know F12 sends me back to the title screen. What's F1 do? Oh. Oh, right, game properties. I'm just a fucking idiot, of course. Every RPG. Oh, by the way, the game properties is all in Japanese still. This is clearly using a Japanese version of RPG Maker. Alt Enter will full screen, but that wouldn't be very useful considering I can't read what you guys are saying if I do that. Depends on how well you do on the challenges. A few hours, if I remember correctly. I see. Oh, god damn it. No. Okay. Another thing about RPG Maker entities, if they're scripted to move towards you, there's always going to be frames where they move away from you, so... There we go. Rule of thumb. Technically, you can avoid any NPC. Oh, okay. There was another one. Where'd that come from? Where did that come from? A box? Oh, it came from under the carpet, didn't it? Well, hopefully I don't need to read events. I read papers and stuff, too. What caused that to come out? Was it interacting with this? Yeah, it was. Oh, God, it's so fast. Why did the note say to not use the save machine? I have no idea. Okay, so I don't want the star, but let me interact with other things. Let me get over here. Okay. Look, I can waste my time going through boxes if I want. I'm waiting for it to go left. There we go. You know, if you say don't waste time doing it, then I need to do it, clearly. This is a rule of thumb. What was that? Oh. Oh, I stepped on the corner that other slime came out and then it made a noise. Interesting. Take that, slime. I'm going to step all over you. Apparently it doesn't... It's not hostile unless you interact with paper. That is a paper-hating slime. As long as you don't mess with paper, it doesn't care. And the buffering begins. Hyper, you need to go call your ISP and say, stop being a dick, please. Okay, so we can go left or right. Oh, neat. Oh, we're in a city. Collapse buildings. So there's some sort of post-apocalyptic thing happening here. I need to find the password for the keypad. Honestly, I don't. I don't know how hard this game's gonna be, like puzzle-wise. Puzzles are hard to judge as far as difficulty when you're a designer. I know from a fact, because I have made some fucking stupid puzzles in my RPG Maker games and didn't realize they were stupid until somebody told me. And that's simply because. Puzzles are very subjective as far as their difficulty. So you really need people to like help you test as many people as possible, because alone you cannot make a good puzzle game. I'm pretty sure about this. Oh, goddamn. No, I just want to read the beginning again. Ceramic tiles on the floor. Bigger tiles are the key. Passive storage room is hidden across the floor. This floor? That floor? Another room's floor? Which floor? Bigger tiles are the key. Let me look at each room. Yeah, I know the note tells. I mean, like, I'm aware of where I'm being told there's information or a hint, but just because I recognize the hint doesn't mean I understand the hint. That's like somebody giving me a mystery flavor lollipop and asking me, "So what is this?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a lollipop." And they're like, "Well, what flavor is it?" And I'm like, "How the fuck would I know?" Dog is derp. Dog can only know some information. I mean, again, manipulate the tile, the ceramic. What the fuck is ceramic in this room? Are they? I thought these were metal tiles, but apparently maybe they're not. Bigger tiles are the key. All right, there's tiles that are 4 wide or 2 by 2, but there's also 1 by 1. So, and the password's hidden across the floor. And there's all this stuff I don't care about. Hi, Katsune. Yes, or attempting to. I mean, I'm assuming they mean this floor, because this floor has more big tiles than the other floors. Oh, wait a minute. Is it not a case of like counting and doing multiple division quadrants? Maybe it's just the shape of the tiles telling me something. I mean, I could be standing on a 7. I could be standing on a 1. I could be standing on a 4. And I could be standing on a 2 and a 1. 7, 1, 4, 2, 1. I mean, I'm actually hoping I'm wrong, and I'll tell you why if I'm right. Which fucking door had a... I don't... Oh. What? Oh. Why'd that happen? I guess that... did I enter the slime room too many times, I guess? RNG game. RNG. Game over. I mean, it's cool that there's another event and it's secret, but RNG game over? I'm a little leery on RNG game overs. Odd place for the tail to erect. I mean, it's not a big deal in this case, but I imagine, like, if an RNG game over when I thought I was fine and I hadn't saved in a while, that would be kind of rough. Also, 1 second. I just realized something. I forgot to do the thing that makes the cursor stop flashing. There we go. Kinda, Moogle, kinda. I figured, like, no, for entering too many times, it kind of makes sense because the room is overrun with slimes. So one could argue they just eventually got over the barrier. Oh, tail is huge. Maybe you secretly always want... Who doesn't? Especially huge floofy tails. See, this is one good thing about me changing characters. Shadok says huge floofy tail. Admittedly, I need to do more tail-based stuff with my character. I actually was thinking about slightly changing my tail design. It's currently like this really puffy clump. But I was thinking about keeping its general design, but making it more flowing, like, well, the tail we have on screen. Basically, keeping the curls and such, but making it have this more swooshy shape, I guess, rather than the puffy shape it has. Let's see, what does the adventure stop? I'm perfectly happy, so what happens next? It's like, some game overs make sense, but it's like, I don't know, it feels like it would create an alternate route rather than make a game over, but that would be too much effort, probably. So, what? 7, 1, 4, 2, 1, and I don't remember which door it is. Not that one. Oh, wait, no, it's a keypad. It is this one, right? Yeah. Damn it, I'm right. Oh, hi. Well, while he's completely useless... Oh, he has a slime friend. Well. Oh. Also, I'm going to turn down my volume. I didn't think this game had music, and that was a little loud. Holy shit. Suddenly music's like, okay. So anyways, I want to explain real fast why I'm annoyed that I was right about that combination. This, I mean, it's still legible, but this 7 looks wonky. This 2 looks kind of wonky. And, I mean, the 1's cut off, so it's 4 is 2, but whatever. It's like, yeah, I get it. I see the shape, but, like, personally, if I were designing this puzzle, I would have actually created the corridor. I would have made it I would have made it 2 more tiles vertically wide. So then I could create, because if you have basically 5 pixels to do your number characters, then they're going to be properly uniform and much more legible. When you're doing, yeah, this is 2 by, no, this is actually well, it's that's the thing though, it's not non-uniform. This 7 is 2 by 4. The 1 is fine because it's 1. This 4 is 4 by 4. The 2 is 3 by 4, and it's just it's not uniform. I guess it doesn't have to be uniform, but I probably would make it uniform because I feel like this is subtle enough that you may as well make it uniform. But that's just me. Maybe I would make the puzzle too easy doing that though. I don't know. Again, it's very subjective, puzzles. 4 by 4 would be a standard that works, but I also like 3 by 5 I think is also good if I recall. I can't remember. I'd have to like fucking get paint up and like practice. But like, you know, fuck it, let's do that anyways. Because now I want to demonstrate. Like what we have here, I'm just gonna draw it on the side and then I'll show it. So what we have here is, now granted, technically the 7 is 3 by 4, I guess, if we're counting the carpet tiles. So let me just demonstrate what I would do, I guess, compared to what they did. So I'm just gonna write out what they did for starters. And then I'll pull up what I have and I'll show you guys. Oops, there. And again, it's not the end of the world. I'm not trying to attack this game or anything, but I find it interesting and worth talking about since I'm also making my own RPG Maker game. So it's like relevant right now for me. So here's what we have. This is how they wrote this out. 1 second, actually. So this is how they wrote their thing out. You guys can see that, right? Yeah. So how I would probably do it is, because again, like the way they did it's not uniform, which doesn't really bother me too much as far as spacing, but the 2 is kind of bothersome. So I would probably shit, how would I do it actually? I gotta think about that. Because I normally do my 7s like that when they're like analog. But that is also hard to understand sometimes, so there's a few ways to do 7s. But I would keep to a 3 by 4 myself, so what I would do for that is like I do 1 extra space for that, because 3 by 4. 3 by 4 space, 3 by 4 space, basically. The 4 is fine. There's nothing really wrong with the 4. So I accept the 4. The 2 is where I have problems. And well, actually, no, I wouldn't do 3 by 4, and that the 2 is the reason why. Because the 2, to be drawn correctly, it just needs an extra tile. It's very simple. I have to think about how to do 7s again. But like, yeah, something like that is probably what I would do. It's not that different, but it just is easier to read with an extra tile downwards. That's why I would do that. The 2 suffers without it. And actually, the 2 is the reason I didn't think that was a number pattern at first, because that 2 looked completely wrong to me. So it took me a little longer to figure out. No, I'm not salty. I'm not salty. You guys are assuming salt where there is not salt. I'm not salty. I'm simply explaining how I would do it. Were you unable to read it before? Kind of. It took me a while to figure out this was a 2, and because it didn't look right, I figured I was wrong about the number thing. It also doesn't help that the doormats are covering the number portions technically, so that also threw me off a little more. But let me just enter that again then. Oh, that's all I meant to do. I'm really not a puzzle game person. Alright, what do you do? You eat me and turn yourself into a tar. Yeah, this is an acceptable result. Oh, no dialogue for that one? Okay, sure. I'm not even sure what this does, actually. Like, was it open? This one? 'Cause that's locked. I'm not salty because I'm not mad. So I really am just like, okay, well. I will say, on a mechanical level, I will say, I've kind of learned my lesson with RPG Maker. You don't really want to make chase games in RPG Maker unless you're really careful how you do it. I used to do it all the time, actually. I like to make non-traditional or non-RPGs with RPG Maker. Okay. But here's the problem, like, the hitboxes are a little weird of RPG Maker. If you guys end up crisscrossing the same tile, even if one of you is going on it while the other one is leaving it, you guys will technically make contact. That's just how RPG Maker works. So it's really easy to accidentally get hit when you think you've gotten away, basically. Oh. Well, how would I supposed to know that? Who's gonna get me? Who's gonna get me? Oh, that guy got me. Sorry, slime. I mean, to be fair, this isn't the first time I need to interact with something that something bad came out of, so I just figured that was the way to go. So wait, am I supposed to imply this opens then? Let's see, what did that say again? I guess it's locked, so I guess that opens the gate. I think there was a paper that mentioned that this would unlock the gate. I just didn't correlate them, so that's my bad. Oh, I was able to move down an extra square, nice. Okay, you just come out of box, that's nice. Oh. Oh, that was surprisingly easier to escape from than I thought it would be. They are in a cell, but, you know, there could be... It's a fucking puzzle game. There could be, like, a fucking screwdriver in there. Who knows? This is the creator's first game? That's actually pretty impressive then for a first game. I don't know what that's doing, but okay. Let's save again. Oh no, block puzzle. My one weakness. Actually, it's not really a block puzzle, is it? Oh. Hi, cat. There's another game over if you run out to the balcony. But I did. What the hell am I wearing? Wrestler gear? What was that? I've already... Okay, fine. Let's start a new game so I can see the balcony thing. Because I'm now locked out. Because I made saves everywhere. Oh wait, did I say save everywhere? Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. You want to warn me you reach the first save point? What are you talking? Oh my god. So, ruin the file? Oh good. So games where you can save past a softlock or point of no return without being told about it. That's always a fun time. Yeah, actually, good point, Zell. I'm bad with multiple slots, honestly. I'm more like, let's save multiple times in case a save gets erased or something. Okay. Sure took you a while. That was easy. Okay, Kyrio. Thanks, Kyrie. So, wait. What was that about the balcony? Oh. Oh, lingering? Okay. Oh, yeah, true. Civet? What's a civet again? I don't know what a civet is. I guess it's a cat. Oh, wait, no, I know what they are. Isn't there a coffee made with them? Yeah, I remember these things. Transferred. That reminds me of transfer.com. Haven't been there in years. The problem with RPG Maker is that when it comes to multiple save files, there's usually no real information saying like, oh, this is that save file, this is that save file. So I generally have trouble like remembering which save has what going on in it in an RPG Maker game, which is why I have trouble with multiple saves in RPG Maker. That's my own issue. You're fast. How the fuck? Alright. Still don't get why I put on wrestling gear, but sure. Yeah, Civic Coffee. Yep. That's the only reason I know them. Really. Is there supposed to be like some sort of... Oh, wait. Am I supposed to be sneaking? Or am I walking, perhaps? Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, you have like periods of running around. Okay. I see. Oops, no, not that one. Whatever. F12 was it? Yeah. That's actually a normal key to reset to the title screen in the RPG Maker game. But there's things to interact with, so... So is it stepping on this that does it? Yes. But... I'm gonna wait for him to tire out. No. That didn't work. I want to go back. Nope. I mean, I want to interact with things, so I'm just trying to trick him. Look, I'm just going to get this out of the way right now. If you don't like how I play this game, I don't blame you for leaving. God damn it. I guess I really should sprint. I want to interact with the fucking cat pillow, but okay. Doesn't matter that much. And I simply say that as a statement of knowledge that sometimes people just watch me play a game and get frustrated with me constantly. Alright. And I'm going to say it again, RPG Maker is not great for chase-style games. I really don't think it is. But also, so I can kind of effectively brick save files. There's RNG events that I can just miss. Some of them that I want to miss because they're game overs, but I don't really want to miss them all because they're interesting. But I do want to miss them when I don't want to game over, obviously. I'm having trouble with the chase events, and there might be puzzles that are a little too obtuse or poorly designed. Alright, yeah, I might have a few problems with this game. Unfortunately. I'm not trying to, I just do, you know? Oh good, I can do it now. It's bouncy. It pushes me back for some reason. Yeah, stop behind the boxes technically works. It'll work like 90% of the time, probably. The way thing is, I can provide insight because I know how RPG Maker works and stuff. When it comes to characters that chase you, you may notice that if they cannot find a direct path to you, they will tweak out a bit. They will basically, characters that are chasing you in RPG Maker, regardless of what speed they're doing it at, will occasionally make a step in a random direction, usually not away from you, but usually like left or right of you, where in relation to you. If one, they can't pathfind to you, and so it's basically like an attempt to get around obstacles, or two, just because enough time has passed, so they take a random movement. So the chase script for RPG Maker NPCs is not super duper cut and dry, which is actually good. I don't mind this. It makes them more dynamic. However, for a chase game, it can also make them exceptionally frustrating because you don't know what the fuck they're doing half the time. Especially for characters with their run speed maxed out, such as this cat. Oh, I see. Well, might as well read this. Oh, so there's a the latex thing isn't the virus. The latex thing is to prevent the virus, probably. Viruses, plural, can't live in their bodies. Plural, well, it's actually possessive, it should be plural. Bye. Wow, I actually got away from that. Temporarily got away from that. Corpse Party did it well. I never played Corpse Party. You can squeeze between lower boxes. Yeah, I'm not good at immediately recognizing perspective situations like this. Well. Oh yeah, there's a slot I could fit in there. Yeah, I see that now. Meow. Oh god, what the fuck? And that's what I mean by random movements. Normally he catches on the other side of that. That time, not. Nope, didn't happen. Can't even blame me for my position, because if you notice, I actually stood a little further right, and he, for some reason, actually moved more left. Oh, I just realized there's photos you can check, too. So if I want to interact with things, I have to just game over again, and that's ignoring the fact that I'm going to game over anyways, because this is kind of jank, let's be honest. And go. Okay, got it. Probably should be starting to hit F12 since it always just kicks us back. You know, another thing that could be theoretically done. Why did game overs need to end the game? That might sound like, well, duh, it's a game over. But like, why doesn't the game over just simply set us back to the start of the room with nothing changed? Or title drop. Why doesn't game over just set you back to the start of the room, or perhaps 2 rooms depending on the situation? So you would lose at most a little bit of progress. But you wouldn't have to go back to the title screen and load and stuff. I might be able to save this. Nope. Easier to restart? I don't know. It'd be kind of a quality of life difference. It's not the... Again, none of what I'm stating are like end of the world, oh, I hate this game situations. But I would say that they affect my... Oh, I just realized I could walk around those boxes. Probably should do that. No, get out of here. I'm not doing this again. Alright. Yeah. I'll just start saving down the list. Like, I'll save in slot 1, then I'll save in slot 2 on the next one. Okay. Game Maker actually can make RPGs. Yes, I realize there's a spacebar prompt. I just want to see what happens. Okay. I mean, pressing a button repeatedly is something I do very easily, actually. Alright, well, bye. Just ran away, okay. Hey, you wanna go another round? Alright, so I'll just start saving down the list, and hopefully that doesn't brick me or something. Because I only have 4 save slots, which is weird, because RPG Maker normally allows for, I think, 12, so I'm not sure why I was limited to 4. Especially, I mean, they had to intentionally make it 4 slots, which is weird, because reducing the number of save slots isn't a big deal for most games, but if this game has situations where you need multiple saves, why would you reduce the number of saves? That seems weird. Huh. Puppo. Puppo is horny. Also, I see, researcher got grabbed. You can tell because the lovely scarf he's wearing. I like how there's just a researcher in traditional lab clothes and he's just wearing this fucking scarf. It just seems kind of weird. It's beautiful. It looks really terrible, actually, but okay. I mean, this game has some pretty good art stuff going on. Oh. God, that was just the intro, and that took me like an hour. I'll be perfectly honest, I don't... Oh. Are you evil? I should find out after. Let's see. I mean, you just look like a robot. Hi, robot. You're welcome. Oh. I've cornered you. What are you going to do? You're gonna go down, because I'm not actually cornering you. Whoops. There you go. I've opened the vent. For some reason. There you go. Don't run the office. I'm a rebel. So, how long did you guys say this game is? Given my pace, how long is this game? Since half of you have played this game. If you judge from my pace... Like, how long did it take you guys to complete the intro, for instance? And then, judge by that, you can multiply... You can do some easy, like, multiplication and figure out how long it would take me. At least I imagine you could. Few hours. Like, what does few mean? Like 3? 5? 10,000 years? That sounds accurate. Huh, why am I furry? Rather the latex, I mean. Hi, Chris. Oh. Okay. I just... I want to say that I feel like this is a game I wouldn't have the patience to play. Would actually just watch, like, keynotes on or something. Again, it's simply because of all the... more sneaking. I don't like the chase gameplay of RPG Maker. This is not something I'm holding against Changed alone. I have played other RPG Maker games I just couldn't do because they focus so hard on the movement and trying to avoid things. Some horror games were still done well in RPG Maker because they didn't do it all the time, but... I'm more like the horror or more atmospheric-based RPG Maker games that were more just focused on puzzles, you know? Admittedly, this has a mix, but I could see a lot of chasing going on here. Oh, I was confused why... I don't have hands. It's a shame, because I would actually like to play this all the way through, but... I don't know. I mean, I've been really into TF lately, so this is up my alley. But I also feel really annoyed playing it. Is this like a light-based thing? Okay. And there's that character everybody loves. Oh. That's a pose that I think is, yes. I'm still not exactly sure what they mean by sneak. Oh yeah, I thought so. I had a feeling if I ran. I wanted to see though. Also technically Vor. Hi, you want to get in on this threesome? He does. Look how eager he is. I don't understand how you sneak. Ah, God damn it. Can anything be... I mean, maybe it's based on the lights. I don't know. Probably is. Do you think they do the same thing? No, they're actually different. Probably not. Ah. 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 You know, why did that paper exist before the first monster so I could actually know this? Oh, there's a book there. The game also wants to put me in situations where if I actually want to interact with things, I have to get killed. Oh. Apparently doesn't see me. So is it just... Do they only detect me moving if I'm in light? No? Apparently. Oh, is it the... Oh, the goo. Oh, this one just straight up ate me. Okay. I feel kind of... So many of you guys know this game. Holy shit. I don't know why, but that makes me feel awkward when people... Why am I that way, actually? Like, theoretically speaking, like... When I introduce people to a game through my streaming, I feel really happy. But when I've learned that everybody's already played or watched a game, then I just feel really nervous. I'll be perfectly blunt and honest about this. I think there's something of an expectation. It's like, oh, wait, you guys have already seen other LPers or played this game yourself? Well, now I have to live up to something. And I probably won't be able to, because I suck at video games. Anyways, I see what happened. It's just... feeling as if bothering with some of these interactions is not a good idea. Now, I don't mind this as much, because this is a puzzle. It's technically a chase if you mess up, but it's a puzzle, theoretically. That's fine. I don't mind this room. Just would have liked the solution to be before the first enemy, that's all. You know? The hint before the first enemy would be kind of nice. Yeah, I'll be honest, like, you guys saying, like, you know, it takes you, like, what, 3 hours to beat the game, or what your playthroughs you've seen to take, like, 3 hours, and at the rate I'm going, it's going to take me multiple streams. That just says right off the bat that I fucking suck, and it kind of makes me feel unmotivated. I mean, we've already seen, as a general rule, it has nothing to do with skill, I just play games slower. Generally, I will interact with more things and such. But, still, now I feel all inferior. Well, nobody's giving me that indication, Moogle. Everybody's like, this is easier than you're making it, Charm, so... whatever, right? I get it. Everybody is better at this than me. Probably. I mean, some of you guys were already getting frustrated. I mean, it hasn't even been that long, so... I still don't quite understand how these guys see me. Can I just stand here safely? Okay, good. That guy's moving. Is it... What are they... Is it sight-based? Are they gonna see me staying here? No? I don't understand quite how these guys work. I do know the slime will trigger them. That much Okay, yeah, it is... Okay, so... Okay, I think I understand... Oh my god, it's gonna be an orgy. Then, if I'm doing good, then why do people say at your rate, you're going to take forever? Because that's kind of an opposite statement to that. Also, oh man, wish there had been a save point between those rooms. I mean, this room's not theoretically... I understand how it works. It's not line of sight, or is it? Let's test it. No, it's not. Here's how it works. If I step on something that makes noise, they'll come after me. If I'm moving... If I'm moving nearish them when the light's on, they come after me. If I run, they come after me. So in other words, if I am not in their way and never move when the lights are on, then I should never get caught. As long as I don't step on anything too. Oh. See, that was, that right there was actually me stopping before the lights turned on, but because of the game being grid-based, I got fucked. Because the game still wanted me to be moving. Another problem with, some more actiony things of RPG Maker, just kind of clunky. We're not doing it to no, Cart, I didn't, no, I know you guys aren't trying to insult me. I wanted an honest answer, that's not what, Yeah, I wanted an honest answer. It's just I wonder why it takes some people less time than me sometimes. I'm not really sure if their detection range is when the lights are on, but it seems to be bigger than it seems. That's a kind of redundant statement. Well, yeah, I guess in any situation where somebody knows about the game before going into it. Then yeah, they're gonna play a lot better. What did the last thing say? 37 degrees Celsius. Is that... That looks like a Puchita for that angle. What is 37 Celsius in Fahrenheit? Oh, so I'm gonna get fucked right here, and I'm... Actually, wait, is there a spot? A magic... Yeah, there is a magical spot. Okay. That's pretty hot. Or maybe that's normal. I don't know. I noticed there's some interactables that I can literally not interact with unless I get caught, which would, of course, be kind of stupid. So I'm not going to bother, but... Oh, let me guess. Yep. So, if you want to see this... I mean, this obviously is going to lead to a game over. I didn't even have to guess. But see, here's the thing, like... This game creates an interesting situation. Do I want to go through this whole stealth section again just because I want to see a unique game over? The answer is I want both and neither of these things. Also, as Lucard says, I am quite a fine-tooth comb guy. This works great in some games, not so great in others. I have this obligated sense, like, I know this is going to game over me, I don't want to do the stealth room again, but at the same time, I hate missing things in video games. So I'm left at an impasse. I could have passed the mass up, but if I did that, then I'd miss something. And maybe that matters for, like, the true ending or some shit, you don't know. Though with the way RPG Maker is coded, if it's actually keep me back to the title screen after a game over, there's almost no chance that it's actually saving my progress of fighting the game overs. Though, of course, achievements are different, but whatever with achievements. But with the way RPG Maker is coded, if something sends you to a game over, it's... Oh, I didn't mean to move then. I bumped the key. But yeah, well, that's the thing. That's actually the thing that's hard to tell about all fetish games. Like, I've played numerous, like, Vor and this and that games that are, you know, they're normal games in their own right, but then if you intentionally die, you get special scenes involving the fetishes. I've actually always kind of had I've always been a little confused by these sorts of games. Because, let's be honest, the reason people are playing them are for those game overs. It's doubtful that anybody would really want to just play the... I mean, I'm not saying that you can't just play those games for the gameplay. But you're there, you're motivated because of the fetishes. Let's be honest. So, you want to technically get game overs. But, in the process of getting these game overs, because you want this thing, you are thus retreading the same ground over and over again. Because you have to if you want to see the content you're there for. It's always created such an interesting, like, dimorphism, I guess. And this is why I generally will be more interested to watch people play these sort of games rather than play them myself. Because I think the whole thing is frustrating. It's like playing a normal video game but choosing to just randomly kill yourself sometimes and resetting your progress. Because that's the proper way to play it in your mind. And it's just, that would be kind of silly, of course. But it's just weird to me because I know there's ways you could technically design these games to not make you lose progress just because you wanted to do the thing. There's totally ways to do it. For instance, say I got caught by this creature, and instead of going all the way back to my save point, it just put me right here. Just right here where I'm standing, and it just reset the room. That would be an acceptable quote-unquote punishment. Because that's a weird thing. Like, if you're there for the game overs in these sort of games, then why is the game over a punishment? That doesn't make any sense, unless you're fucking sadistic. Like, why would the game developer make the thing you're there for also be a punishment? That doesn't... It just doesn't jive, you know? And this isn't a dig against Changed alone. I have played multiple games that fit this description. So, yeah. Oops. And now, granted, my example was bad because there's literally a save point just right there. So in this case, I'm glad there's a save point. I'm less worried about dying now, but... say there wasn't a save point here. And that dying would just reset you to the room. Like, regardless if there is a checkpoint, maybe I forgot to save, you know? I mean, yeah, that's more on me, but... I'm just presenting a what-if scenario. Also put it this way, to be more active about this, the game with Zima, my RPG Maker game I'm working on, it's not really a fetish game. Well, okay, that's a fucking lie now I think about it, because Vor is the main mechanic. Let me put it this way, it is a fetish game, it will be a fetish game, but it's designed around the fetish being a win condition or simple continued gameplay mechanic. It's not a lose state. But, I might create situations where Zima goes from being the pred to being the prey, in some puzzles and such. And if I did that, it would not cause a game over, it would cause a reset to the start of the room. I can promise you this. If Zima's game has lose states that are interesting, those lose states will not punish you. They will maybe roll you back a little bit, but nothing more than that. Just a little bit, not much. Here's the thing, again, I know a lot about RPG Maker. He could code these events, because everything that happens in this game is an event. Basically, anything that happens, any interaction with the player character and anything else, that's technically called an event. It's an object event, or a NPC event, or just a... what's the word for it? Continuous event. I think that's the word for it, when something just runs. For instance, a continuous event going on in this room is the lights flickering on and off. That's happening independently of what I'm doing. It's just on its own timer. That's an independent event. Basically, there's no reason that any event has to trigger a game over. That's a specific choice of the developer. Instead of triggering a game over, the room could be reset very easily. In fact, that's not hard at all. Just reset to the entrance state. It's really simple. And that would be, honestly, the quickest and fairest way of doing it, I feel. But yeah, like, for instance, I hate saying this, but, like, I find this stuff interesting, like, reading these things. But it's less fun to read these things when I could just accidentally step and kill myself again, get a game over. I have trouble reading this stuff because I know I'm, like, one button press away from death. Does that make any sense? This, like, distracts me, I guess. Also, I realize the lights are different here. Again, this puzzle is not bad. This is far better than the first chase scene, and definitely better than the second chase scene with the kitty. I like the fact I could just stand in the middle of this path and he won't get me. As long as these lights aren't on. I guess turning's safe in the light. That's good to know. Oh, here's a good example. You want an RPG Maker, the game that does it right. I believe the game, I might be incorrect about this because it has been a while since I played this, but I believe a good example of a game that does fail states in an interesting way, where there's interesting fail states, but they don't fuck up your progress. I believe The Witch's House did that. I can't remember for a fact, because I do remember there was saving. I think it did game over you, but the saving was more reasonable, and the events more avoidable. I can't recall for a fact, though, because it has been a long time since I played it. They actually had a HD remake thing on Steam. I played the original, though, so... No, it did kill you? Maybe not the best example, but at least there, the deaths were just... The deaths weren't the point of the game, at least in that case. So... They were killed side apart. So, that's the thing. Like, I can at least say for a fact that Witch's House didn't have as many deaths as this game does. This game is definitely presenting more situations for me to die in. Oh, there was goo there? I guess. I didn't see that. Also, little tiny guys. Cub versions, okay. Yeah, it is a fetish game. Witch's House is not a fetish game, so there's a big difference there. Wonder, can I? No? Okay. Okay, actually, this is another good example. Yeah, it just triggers. Oh, because I accidentally knocked something over. That's neat. Oh, I wanted to actually see what the puppy did, but it did nothing. Okay. Alright. So, there's another good example of I don't like this game design. So, I just randomly knock something over and have to, like, move, I guess. I'm sorry, it's just frustrating game design. There was no cue that I would be knocking something over there. So that's basically just an automatic death if you don't know about it, more or less. Unless you have saintly reactions. It seems like this developer can't have a game concept. It kind of seems like this game developer has trouble making a game concept without including a chase. As if it's like, okay, well, every encounter needs to involve a chase. Like, this is very important. And it's like, no, it isn't. I mean, I guess I could say, oh, that capsule looks different from all the others. Obviously, when I walk past it, I'm going to knock it over, make noise, and get attacked. But that's quite a leap in logic, in my opinion. What does this thing do? It just slows you down. Okay. Alright. That's cool. It's not really a big deal. Oh, it permanently slows me down. Oh, this looks like a fun room. So I guess I'll just fucking book it and see what happens at that point. I don't know, man. Look, everything to entertainment is subjective, right? So even if I fucking don't like something a whole bunch, somebody else might love it. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know why I moved then. That was my fault. So I don't know. Maybe you guys maybe some of you absolutely love this game design. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't understand, and I definitely wouldn't judge you. Maybe this is lovely. Maybe this is just what you wanted. Some people love a ton of challenge. I don't know if I agree with that statement. I guess I do. Okay, here's the thing. I like hard games if I feel they're treating me fairly. If I feel they're treating me unfairly, I do not like hard games. So it's all about how I feel I'm treated by the game. I don't pay attention to difficulty so much as fairness, if that makes sense. I mean, I'm intrigued by the setting and the story, and I do like the transformations. But man, it's quite something to have to fight through. Okay. I don't. Sorry. My voice change there was because frustration started to bubble up for just a moment. I thought booking it would work, doesn't. I'm also wondering to myself why Rena wants to punish me with these game requests where I hate something about the game. I think like, okay, look, at least Hyper actually was, I think it was Hyper that chose a game, or maybe it's somebody else who was going to pick a game, and they straight up told me, I'm going to pick this because I want to see you rage. And I was like, you know what? If that's your goal, if that's what you want, I'm cool with that. If your goal is to make me upset, well then I hope I'm entertaining while upset. Because at least there it's like, well that's what they want, you know? I'm just gonna wait here. I don't really know what the best hat... Okay. I think I have an idea of what to do in this room. I just look at this game design and I really wonder why you thought I would like this. I mean, I do like the setting, so it's not like I don't like everything about it, or I don't like... It's not like I don't like, you know, it's... Man, my words, I'm stumbling here. It's not like I don't like parts of it, because I do. I definitely like GoTF and latex and transformation stuff. I've been really into... I'm in the middle of writing... Dude, I'm 72 pages, literally 72 pages in on this gigantic TF story I'm writing for Kairio, and I will make it publicly available once I'm done as well. And it's really fun. I'm loving it. I love going through the psychological elements of TF, and that's something Kairio is really big on too. It's something we've shared a lot of interest in, and just discussing about the psychological aspect, the idea of the mind shifting along with the body and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. The story's been amazing. I'm in a huge TF mood right now because of this story. This is actually literally the biggest story I've ever written. You know, some of you know my story for Biscuit the Sarathar, the novel I'm writing for him. I've actually written less pages to that than I have for this transformation story. And I thought that novel was my biggest project. No, this story I'm writing right now is currently bigger than that. And it will be even bigger. By the time I'm done, it might be double. Granted, Biscuit's novel isn't complete. Like, it's still a work in progress, so it might end up being bigger when it's done, but... Yeah. So I want to point out, this is the perfect time for me to play this game. It's not like, oh, Char, you're just treating this game unfairly, you're in a bad mood, or... You know, you're not into it right now. No, I'm 100% fucking into transformation stuff right now. I'm going to try to lure these guys down here. No, come down, come down, come down, come down. Come down, there we go. There we go, go this way, alright. Alright, cool. No, I don't even care. What are these? I don't know, let's go. Like, I want to interact with things, because there's things to interact with, but at the same time, I don't want to interact with things. And look at this, check this out. I saved, okay, cool. Oh, I can't go back. So, like, what if I wanted to rush through an area, hit the next save point, and then go back, not caring about the game over, wanting to see the fail states? Like, what if I wanted to try to avoid fail states and interacting with things? rush to the next save point, and then backtrack and go ahead and get the game overs and check things there. Because that way, if I died, when I died, I would reset forward, not backward. But I'm not allowed to do that because every time I move to a new room, half the time the door locks. So I have to get these game overs. I have to get these interactions done as I'm going through the area. I can't get to the next save point and then backtrack and enjoy those elements. That's another problem this game has. You know? It's like I have to do it as I'm going through, which means I have to reset my progress over and over again. Also, another thing about RPGs in general, a thing I won't do with Zimma's game. If I have a point of no return in Zimma's game, you will damn well know it. You won't walk through a door in my game and then suddenly learn you can't go back. I will never surprise the player with such a thing. I think it's bad. I think that was the same save we just made. Also, thank you for timing that guy up. I have no idea what he said. I was not paying attention to that guy. I was paying attention to you guys, but I wasn't paying attention to whatever he said. Well, I'm kind of curious. What did he say? P.S. Do not hold down keys in the next few rooms. There is a bit of a bug. How is it, Rena, that the more you tell me about this game, the less I like it? It's like, oh, be careful about saving, and oh, be careful. You can lock into certain games, and oh, by the way, there's now bugs, so don't press keys. It's like, wow! This becomes more and more of a train wreck the more you talk about it. YouareAnidiot.org. Oh, I don't even know if that's a real website. Oh, they turn into crystals. And then they make babies for the crystal. That's odd. Jar? Fetch? Another jar. You see a coin in the jar. Wait, I can interact with each of these jars? I'm sure it's not actually important, but it's kind of funny. It's not a bug, they move when you do. So holding down the key counts as multiple moves. Wait, are you fucking serious right now? Hold on, wait. So it's a turn-based... Okay, I get it. That's a turn-based thing. You press button, they do thing. That's cool. That's a fine puzzle. I don't mind that. But you're telling me that if I'm holding down the key, they get multiple... So basically, if I'm holding down the key, and I move, say, by holding down the key, I move 3 squares, they're going to move more than 3 squares, right? Oh, let me think about that one. Because I understand what's going on there. And I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember if that can be circumvented in RPG Maker or not. I want to say it can. But it's a bit tricky. This is more of a client issue than the developer's issue. That bug is more within RPG Maker. It is fixable, but not without work. Right, because of slowness and timing. The way the step counter works in RPG Maker is a little slippery. That's also why we saw, for instance, the cat like doing random turns while chasing me. Again, movement's a little bit weird in RPG Maker. It more or less works fine for RPGs, but for anything more actiony, you start to see the cracks. Transformation. Transferred. Utensils. Why would you put that in a beaker? Hi. I'll just let it happen. Honestly, I think button mashing in video games is stupid. But at the same time, I have no personal issue of it because I have this insane index finger that can press a button at like 3 times the speed of the fastest button press another person can do most times. Like, I don't know. I just got this crazy finger, so it's not a big deal if it's one button. If it's multiple buttons, then I might be in trouble, but... And again, I will cut some slack. If this is the guy's first game... I think my first RPG Maker game... Well, it wasn't terribly ambitious. It definitely was not anywhere near as ambitious as this game, so... Kudos on being so ambitious with your first project, but... Man, I just remember some of the RPG Makers I game, not I made, not even the first one, but later ones, had some horrible puzzles. Horrible puzzles. I will, you know what, hold on. I'm going to very directly attack myself to make it clear that I'm not trying to be unfair or saying like I'm better than somebody because I have an opinion that I don't like how this game behaves. I'm going to say right now, I blow just as hard when it comes to game development sometimes. Here's a great example. Let me show you. Let me show you what I can do that is terrible. So, I don't have this game anymore. Like, I don't have the files for it, but I fortunately did make a YouTube post of it, so... Let me just put that sucker right there. You can see that, right? Yeah, that'll do. So, like, this is me. What I made here is also ambitious, and I'm still happy with some things I did in it. But at the same time, this is when I was a lot younger. Still happy with some of the things I did in it, but my ambitious ideas didn't always translate to fun gameplay. So. Much like Strange is kind of doing for me. So, this is a big game that was all about minigames. Rather than any traditional RPG. Like, for instance, I did my own, like, kind of chase. Not really chase puzzle, but if they caught you. Well, here's the thing. First off, I should actually explain. You see those red tiles? So, those red tiles, they exist throughout this area. This is a big area, but before each section is a red tile. If you touch a guard, if a guard gets you, you get teleported back to the last tile.
I programmed it that way, so stop complaining. I don't know.
I don't know if I actually get caught here, but if I do, you can see that in action.
Maybe I'll make the guards double speed, then you guys will be happy. Huh? I don't know.
I'm just gonna shut myself up because, oh my god, 2009 me is so cringy. This is when I upload the video, 2009. So, yeah, I made each section harder than the last, but I always had the red tiles, so if you did get caught, well, you wouldn't lose that much progress. That was always the point. You sounded really whiny or really mean back then. I wasn't mean, but I agree with the whiny bit. As far as me being mean, I was kind of joking around on this part. So I sounded mean, but that's just because I was making a joke. Also, I might note, these are not like manual things you have to trigger. You don't even have to mess with the red tiles. They will just work if you get caught. Drank too much coffee, yes. Yes, they did. Yeah, I changed each time. I had them doing different things and having you time things. It gets harder, but I never made it like, oh, game over, start the whole fucking thing over. Frequent checkpoints are very important for things like that. Even so, this might be considered frustrating. I like how this was an accident. This guy just gets stuck on this guy occasionally, and that was an accident, but it was perfect because it opens a window for you. That was an unintentional thing, but it's perfect. Oh, here, I do get caught there. But who cares? There's a checkpoint. But, so that's an example of not a bad puzzle. It's not super complex, but I did it well. Now, let me show you an example of shitty puzzle that I should never have done. You can kind of already see that. Well, okay. First off, I stole the Team Rocket arrow puzzle. This thing is meaner than it looks. It's not actually that bad. You can totally brute force this thing. So this is not an unreasonable puzzle. You can actually plan it out. You can look at it. You can figure out where you're going. And then I introduced another element here, which is you have to turn on consoles in an order while doing the arrow thing. It's not that bad, actually. This is definitely one of those more intimidating than it looks more intimidating than it is sort of things. But yeah, modifying the conveyor belts so that you can move down them. It's pretty straightforward puzzle here. But yeah, this game idea is basically I want each area. Basically, you're going to different areas defeating bosses through different puzzles. They're also. Oh yeah, I didn't actually show the boss, so I'll just show that. Like, where is the boss? Oh right, I remember. Boss is. Oh, right. Yeah, so I had secrets as well. I forgot about this. Actually, I need to show part 1 to explain. Let me just go over the highlights. How about that? I kind of forgot to show that off. So, let me get to the boss. The boss is here. And the boss is really basic, this one. Myself. God, I'm listening to my dialogue. I have it really quiet, but listen to the reason I made the bosses action bosses is listen to the reason I have.
Floria, and the boss battle with Floria, which is not an RPG battle because I don't like them very much right now.
I don't like RPG battles right now, so I didn't want an RPG battle. That's my logic. So anyways, this puzzle's like kind of Lieutenant Sir's trash can puzzle, but you're also getting chased. And once again, that crystal, that's a save point, which naturally I put a save point for the boss. But the thing here is where you have to activate bushes and arms. And basically, you find switches and bushes, you arm them, and then you step on the switches you armed to hurt the boss. Every time you hurt the boss, it gets faster. So it's actually an action and a puzzle. There, you can technically search a bush, find a switch, and hit it immediately. Or you can find all the switches before touching any of them and then hit them back to back. That is the way you're supposed to do it. Basically, it's kind of a trap situation where as you step on the switches, the boss gets faster, so it makes it hard to find new switches. So it's actually a puzzle boss in a way because the idea is you're supposed to find all the switches before actually hitting any of them. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time. It's one of those you have to think about it a little bit first, which it's not complicated, but it is at least something you have to think about. Because she's very easy if you just hit all the switches back to back after finding them. But yeah, the objective here is like you finding, I don't remember, like relics and animals is kind of the idea. Like that relic is an example. And an example of bad game design would be actually the fact that you have to go back through. Technically for basically the reason the puzzle has to be done twice. And it doesn't change. You just have to go through the forest twice. This is an example of bad game design. I should at least have changed it. But all you have to do is just simply go back to the boss room, and then there's this chicken, and then you get a chicken.
You unironically remade the worst puzzle in Pokemon history. Why?
But yeah, so like, and then you have to actually go back a second time. But then you have to go. You don't have to go through the whole thing, but where was it? Oh yeah, I have to actually. I think I got on the way in. So those flowers. What did I do the flowers? Did I not do the flowers? Where the fuck? Oh, maybe I did them the first time. I just ignored that. Alright, anyways. There's a flower puzzle.
For no reason other
I
than
guess it's a puzzle. I don't know if you'd call that a puzzle. It's right here.
the few people who
It's basically just, hey, notice that there's an opening in the trees.
don't really know about. The rose bushes indicate a secret. Because,
Just a little planar trick, nothing special, but it works for a secret. But as far as the worst puzzle here, the one I wanted to point out to you guys
let's play a
was, right... No, this was not a fetish game. So... oh yeah, this fucking puzzle. I'll show this one too. So this one's about being... Like, so here's... Let me show you this puzzle. Notice this computer here gives a hint. So look at the hint, and it's pretty... It's not a hard puzzle, but again, I made it clear. Like, please do not tamper with the new security system. It scans before an object that moves them from the belts. But it can be overloaded by placing electronic equipment through the belt. This is not really so much a puzzle as why not just break things. Blup. It's not even really a puzzle, it's just something entertaining. Because I have little messages for each computer and stuff. It's more about the set dressing than it being an actual puzzle, I think. But anyways, it blows things up. And let me actually get to the shitty puzzle. So, there's a bunch of random items here, and some of them have hints for the next puzzle. It's not really important to share those. I'll just show you the terrible puzzle. It is upstairs. I think I saved and quit here, didn't I? No, that's right. I opened the thing there, and then... So here's the terrible puzzle.
let's play again.
This is an invisible floor trap puzzle with the books downstairs telling you the combination, basically. But it's so complex you have to write it down. It's just a shitty puzzle. But if it was one room, it would just be a generally shitty puzzle and nothing would be bad about it. But the reason it's a really shitty puzzle is because I decided in my infinite wisdom at that age that this annoying puzzle should be done 3 times, and each time should be a little more complex. So you have to do these certain paths through these goddamn huge rooms, or you get reset behind... You don't get reset all the way to the back. Even then, I was more fair than that. But you do get reset to the beginning of that particular room. So, again, this is a terrible puzzle. This is absolutely atrocious game design. There's nothing clever about it. You just have to write it down. And not only did I do it twice. No, I did it 3 times. Technically, you could argue this one's easier because there's, like, barriers. So there's less movement you can do, but it still was hard, technically. And you can see, even as the creator, I have to, like, take a second and go, like, how the fuck do you get through this again? Like, and I believe, if I recall correctly, the way I designed it is, I basically considered what is the absolute longest path you could take through this room. Okay, let's make it that. Like, I made it as circuitous as possible. I am not proud of this puzzle. This is a complete piece of shit. What's odd is that part 4 is easy because you just don't step on the burned tiles and you're good. I don't know why I did this room as last. It technically should be the first one because it's the easiest. But whatever, you know. I am smart though because here's a maintenance hash so you can backtrack without... Well, if you answer the password correctly, which is also a puzzle in itself. It's not a hard one, though. But just to make it easier to get back and forth. As I, for some reason, decided to demonstrate on this recording. Like, yes, it does go back. But that's another thing. Like, at least, at the very fucking least, I don't try to walk you forward. I always allow backtracking in my games. But, here's the boss fight for this one. This was hell to design. I'll just show it off since this is the last thing I've done in the video. And no, I don't think the moving floor is a bad puzzle. I think it's entertaining and not really that hard if you just take a second to look at it. Now, this is technically a frustrating boss fight because you don't have health, you get hit, it's game over in this section. So this is the case. I'm simultaneously proud of how this boss fight is designed, because there's a lot of moving parts on this thing. It took a while to design this, so I'm proud of my ability to basically wrap all the events around. But at the same time, this is just as bad as Change as far as harsh game overs go, setting you back a fair bit of progress. Like, there's no checkpoints in this fight. You have to start the whole thing over from the beginning if you lose, and losing is just a matter of touching one sprite you shouldn't, just like in Changed. So this is a parallel I can form with the game I'm currently playing. There is a pattern to everything, but it might be hard to learn that pattern. Also, yeah. So yeah, simultaneously proud of my event efforts with this, but was not a good puzzle. Was not a good boss fight. Too frustrating. Even I took multiple attempts to get this footage, so. Thing is, like, shutting down the machine isn't even the end of it, because then it's like, oh, get chased by guards while hitting more buttons. Because I figured the boss fight wasn't hard enough. And then I demonstrate that really they're cheesable by just luring them. Also, you can... Oh, by the way, this is a great example. Watch how the guard sometimes doesn't walk towards me. This is another great example as to what I mean by how RPG Maker is really weird with chasing movement for the enemies, for like things chasing you. They just sometimes won't act normal. They'll just randomly choose a direction. And it can actually make chasing really frustrating. The reason I'm luring them to the big room is simply because of that random movement. If they didn't have the random movement, they would be perfectly easy to kite. But because of the random movement present in RPG Maker games, when it comes to NPCs moving towards you, it simply makes them too dangerous by simple unpredictability. So the best way to do it in this case is to lure them somewhere else in the room. Which you may notice I was kind of doing that in Change with that last room of all the masked guys. I was trying to lure them one direction so I could skirt around, much like I did here. But I don't really consider it so much a tactic as kind of a necessary cheese. Sort of an intentionally exploiting the game because that's simply the easiest way to handle the situation. I don't consider this fun. I consider this tedious. So this is, again, a bad element of this boss fight. Another thing that I designed poorly. But yeah. Now, RPG Maker has its limitations, and it is clunky. I still think it's really great and fun to work with. But you really need to know how to work within the limitations of the engine you're using for a game, I feel. So, for instance, the chasing movement is weird, but that's not necessarily bad if, for instance, you aren't using chasing mechanics in the first place. For instance, the forest, all the guards, they were on a routine path, so they were very, very consistent. They had a pattern, and they were predictable. They still caught you just like any normal chase NPC, but unlike a chase NPC, they were something you could learn, rather than just hope reacted the way you wanted them to. So, in other words, they're less frustrating. But yeah, so that's all. That's all I got. Thank you for listening to my diatribe, explaining about RPG Maker and such. Showing you that I can have just as many pitfalls in my own games. But at the same time, it's also taught me things, you know? If you make a mistake, you can learn a lot from that mistake, you know? Why does it sound like Contra music a little bit? It went to play. Okay. So if they catch me, they... Yeah, I see what you mean, because all I did was walk away and I got... Well, okay, granted I walked into an object I think blocked me, but... So this would be the room you're talking about then. So, yeah, I guess at the end of the day, it's like... This game's cool. But... It's a hard sell for me, you know? It's like, it's got some elements I really want to see. I really do want to see all the game overs. I really do want to know about the story. I love the TF stuff. I love latex and goo stuff. That's all really great for me. Like, that's completely in my interests, but... Oh, you can fly over that, okay. You enjoy hard and very difficult games like Change. It's one biggest mess up, and if you're dead, it makes it seem like a big challenge. Challenges are your favorite things. See, that's fine. Again, if you like a frustrating video game, that doesn't mean you're a terrible person. For instance, I know people that love the Battletoads games. I will fucking kill anybody behind the development of that game if I start playing those games for more than 10 minutes, though. Like, seriously. Battletoads can fuck right off as far as I'm concerned. However, if you like Battletoads, that's cool. Because much like here, this game has elements that are really good about it, even though I consider it frustrating. Battletoads is kind of awesome. It's really well made. Except for the fact that it's really fucking frustrating and hard in a way I feel is unfair. But outside of that, it is well made. Oh, I can leave. Oh, cool. It does reset them. So it is. So this developer can reset a room. I was wondering about that. I was wondering if I would go back in the room and then the winged guys would be in the same position they were when I left the room, aka I'd immediately get jumped on. No, he is absolutely capable of resetting a room, which makes me really kind of curious as to why that we just don't have room resets. Also, this puzzle has another issue. As I've mentioned before, chase NPCs will not always remove predictably. So in this turn-based situation, I can do the exact same movements, and I guarantee you, if I just repeat the same movements to try to get to the exit, it will always fail me, except for eventually it will just work. Because the movements of these guys is random. For instance, will this guy go left, or will this guy go right or up? He went up. So that's because he went up, he didn't block me. But he could have just as well blocked me as well. I messed that one up.
Games can only give me joy after dragging me through a mile of metaphorical broken glass.
What the fuck? He skipped me. See, I'd rather skip the broken glass part when I'm gaming. The whole Game Boy version of Battletoads? My goodness. I mostly talk about the NES one, but they all kind of count. But the NES one is just like... The NES Battletoads gives me such mixed feelings because they have so many... Every single level is a new creative idea. But they're all also fucking evil and frustrating and terrible ideas as well. So it's really hard for me to say if I like them or not. Because I love the creativity in them, but the gameplay themselves is terrible. Also, I like how I can get these guys to move when I'm not moving, when I'm like pushing against an object. But yeah, anyways, I'll just keep repeating the same thing in this room, and eventually I'll get through it. This is not really frustrating so much as a little disappointing. Because, if you're having turn-based AI, it actually is possible to code turn-based AI. See what I mean? I've been doing the same movement every single time, but this time the dragon decided to get in my way. The other times he decided to go up, now this time I'll lose. Next time I'll do the exact same movements, and I may or may not lose. That's bad game design in my book, you know? The fact that I can just... This is essentially RNG. Okay, well, RNG itself is not bad game design, but in this context, I think RNG is bad game design. This is clearly supposed to be sort of a chess puzzle, but it's not really behaving that way. It's kind of just behaving randomly. Obviously, it's not that hard, but as I figured, there's more than one room of this, yes. That's what I thought would happen. What? Oh, those bounce you? Game's not very great at choreographing information, too. What do the little flies do? I notice they're moving, too. Yeah, I do see the lumps. But here's another thing. Why can't the game just bother to tell me information? Like, why couldn't it have told me that the lumps bounce me? Why? I mean, the sliding floor is fine. You don't have to tell me about the sliding floor because the very first step in this room, in the last room, requires you to walk on the sliding floor, requiring you to slide, requiring you to learn the mechanic. There's two ways to teach a player mechanics. Well, there's probably more than two ways, but there's two main ways to teach a mechanic to a player. One, give them something they can read, some dialogue or, you know, or you know, voice prompt from a tutorial guy, telling you directly about the mechanic. That's one way. The other way, the better way, is through the game's design. If the player is forced to learn an action intuitively because it's in their path in a non-frustrating environment. Basically, like, for instance, if you play a platformer, you don't know what the jump button is, and then you run into a ledge that you can't go any further unless you can figure out how to get up the ledge. You learn what the jump button is at that point because you're going to figure out what the jump button is. That is non-frustrating intuitive design, teaching you what the jump button is without actually giving you a tutorial. Now, if I were to present that same scenario, teaching the player how to jump so they can progress, but I were to, instead of having it just be a ledge that you're stuck underneath until you figure out the jump button, let's say the first obstacle that requires you to jump into a platformer is a bottomless pit, and if you fall in, you game over, and you have to go back to the title screen. Technically, that's still going to be just as motivational to learn the jump button with, but in this case, it becomes a frustrating obstacle rather than a fair one, because it's something that will punish you for not knowing something. A ledge doesn't punish you for not knowing the jump button, but a pit does. You see my logic there? So in other words, the best way to teach a mechanic is either putting the player in a situation where, without any danger to their character, they can learn the mechanic, or just outright telling them. But in this case, I'm being taught, bouncing things in a hostile environment, so that's not really good teaching. Touching crystals or game over. Okay. And again, I'm trying to be absolutely as fair as possible. I know that sometimes when I play a game I don't particularly like or have mixed feelings on, I can be really unreasonable about it and, like, you know. Actually, Rena, as you said, I did it the hard way. No, actually, that was kind of not the hard way, because, look, if I use the bounce thing, then the lower dragon is closer to the door. I'm not giving him enough moves to get out of the way of the door. So actually, using the bouncing thing in this first room makes it harder at the end of the room. At least in that instance it did. Of course, it's kind of RNG based. But, like, let's look at this. So, like, yeah, now he's out of my way, so that's good. I can get out now, but... yeah. But it's very RNG based, so it's hard to say. Okay, that is an obstacle. But yeah, I'm trying to be critical, because sometimes I have land blasted games, and I'm just generally am kind of being a bitch towards a game, like... maybe it does have bad elements, but I'm just kind of treating it really unfairly and really harping on those bad elements. And I realize that might seem like what I'm doing here. And admittedly, I am quite tired today, so it's quite possible I might unintentionally bitch here and there. Because when I'm tired, I'll be perfectly blunt, I can be bitchy when I'm tired. But I can very safely tell you that I'm not trying to be bitchy. And I am trying to discuss this in a mechanical fashion. Discuss this on an intellectual level, where I explain my thought processes and why I feel the way I do. And try to explain things on a factual level where I can do so. I hope that's fine for everybody. But, yeah, in my opinion, like, again, this is just my opinion, because everybody has different opinions on video games and such, and everything in life. But... Pika says he enjoys hard and difficult games like Change. In Chris's opinion, he likes this game design. He likes how it's difficult. Now, that's completely fair. But I guess the reason I'm different is I look at this and I see it being hard. Yes, I agree it's difficult, and I can definitely see it being a challenge that you can overcome and such. But at the same time, I also consider it an unfair challenge, and with that, I feel like the game invalidates the whole aspect of overcoming challenge and enjoying enjoying the game, overcoming the game's challenge, triumphing over something that's getting you killed over and over again, getting you game overs over again, you finally beat it. getting that triumphant feeling. I completely get that. An example of how I was that way was like with Hollow Knight. Some of Hollow Knight's bosses were fucking ridiculous, but man, I love playing that game. Like, it frustrated me sometimes, but when I actually did beat a boss, I felt so accomplished. But in this situation, since I do feel the difficulty is unfair, unbalanced, and maybe too RNG, getting through a room in this doesn't give me a sense of accomplishment. It just kind of makes me feel relieved the frustration is over, but also dreading the next situation I'll inevitably be put in that will cause me more frustration. I'm actually being really tame with this game. I could be so mean right now. I could attack the shit out of this game if I wanted to. But I'm not, because that's lame and stupid, and I can be better than that. I mean, I think it says something that I'm wondering what build this was made in, because I'm wondering if I could edit the game to make it easier. I was wondering what would take priority, the enemy or the bounce. That's good to know. Well, Rena, even yourself admitting that this game is frustrating, so I'm just kind of wondering what your own thought process was for picking this game. I mean, okay. To be fair, you might not understand my gameplay sensibilities, but I'm actually curious. Do you understand how I play games, how I enjoy games? Because I'm curious to ask this because, like... Wait, I have an idea. Nah, it's not gonna do it. Oh, wait, no, it did. You know what, I don't even care if this puts me in a fail state. Just give me... Don't save here when enemies are too close. Yeah. Wait, really? Don't save here when... I mean, I appreciate the warning, but that's kind of one of those cases where dev says, oh, to be careful about this because I couldn't design this well enough. That's basically if you have to put a message like that, that's basically self-admitting that that you cannot design the game correctly. Like, oh, be careful, player, how you're actually, like, doing this one thing because you could totally softlock the game because I didn't build it right. So I know what the issue here is. It's basically, if I save, the enemy positions are saved. So if I'm saving when the enemy is right next to me, then I will softlock. I get that. It is possible. It is possible. In fact, wait a minute, hold on. So I'm saving, and the exit to the room's right here. So as far as the developer is concerned, the game is concerned, if I reach the save point, I'm basically, that's my save before I go to the next room. I have solved this puzzle. If I've reached the save point, I have solved this puzzle. So what could be done is that the save event could simply be tied, like, before you save. When you're interacting with the save machine, the event handler, before giving you the save prompt, before giving you the dialog box for the save prompt, could very well tell all these events, all they're each an event, they're each an event NPC, take all the events, their codes, and simply have a command telling them to reset their positions in the room. Basically, when you interact with the save machines, all these guys go back to their default positions, thus getting them out of the way of the door. You could do this. I'm not sure why the developer didn't. Just move them, basically. Just move the enemies. And I assume this is another point of no return. No? Actually? Yeah, look! The default position for the enemies are out of the way. So that would have worked, too. I just want to see what this says. Yeah, Hyper, I got the game downloaded, by the way. It does look like a shitpost, but I have no problem with that. Rena, before you feel I know you feel bad. I want to say one thing. Before you feel really bad about picking this game, I want to say, at the very least, I want to tell you, this is better than what you picked last time. This is, I mean, this is actually something that like, conceptually, this is interesting to me. The other game you picked, the Pokemon game you picked, had no conceptual interest to me. Oh, 2 heads. So you did good. You picked a good concept. It's just a shame the gameplay isn't up to par. Now, I would actually like to ask everyone here. In fact, you know, I'm going to do this a fun way. One second. Because obviously we have some mixed opinions on your guys too. I want to get your guys' opinions. Obviously, you guys can feel free to share in the chat, but I'm going to do this a more fun way, so one sec. I'm going to create a vote. Because I'm just kind of curious. So let's see here. I'm just going to just say 10 minutes for the vote, yeah. Wait, how do I create the questions? Oh, there it is now. There. I think that's a fair way to do it. I'm kind of curious what you guys would vote, so let me put that vote up for you guys. I would actually love to see how the votes end up split. Oh, you caught me. Okay, cool. I think I held down the button again. Obviously, I want to point this out. Just because a game has bugs doesn't mean it's a bad game. There have been a lot of games that have, like, issues that I had to work around, and I still largely enjoy them. So just because a game has an issue, that doesn't make me hate it. The game can be janky, have glitches, bugs, issues. Even, hell, I've even played games that straight up can delete your save files or leave your saves and leave your game in an unwinnable state because of the bugs. Still does not make a bad game, necessarily. But I have to take all the elements together and consider it that way. And simply put, I'm not having fun with this game on a mechanical level. I'm having fun with this game on a visual level and a story level. But the unfortunate thing is, a game's gameplay is kind of the first thing to worry about, I guess you could say. How did that guy miss me? You know, fuck it, I'm just gonna go back. Why am I going back? Because I don't know where else to... Oh no! Oh yeah, I didn't actually touch a crystal. I guess that's fine then. I turned into a blue dragon guy with cool hair. Let's see if this. I guess let's see if the small crystals do the same thing. No, only the big ones. Now, here's the thing. I can enjoy... Okay, there is one situation where I can enjoy frustrating game design. Would you guys like to know that? It's basically... If the game is... like, shitpost game. We were talking about shitpost games. If a game is intentionally trying to be a piece of shit, that can be really amusing sometimes. I'm not going to lie. That can be really fun. Because if the game knows what it's doing... it actually ends up being less frustrating, oddly enough. For instance, a good example of this would be I Want to Be the Guy. A game that I will admit I'll never beat it. It's because that's too much for me. I can't beat that game. Probably could, theoretically, but I wouldn't want to. But I still enjoyed playing it some. Because it's so hilariously unreasonable that I loved it. Like, I didn't love it enough for a full playthrough, but I loved it for a while. There's a random black crystal? Oh. I'll try to interact with it. I didn't see it. Where is it? Oh, there's a paper here. I can't read it. I'll read that paper. But yeah, this game, like, technically, you know, I don't have to... Nobody's telling me I have to finish a game I'm playing. You know, that's not required. I don't have to... It's not like I have to finish this game. But this is the troublesome thing. At least with the other game you gave me, Rena, Pokemon Revolution or whatever, I didn't like anything about it, so I didn't feel bad dropping it. This game, though, I really am heavily into the transformation stuff, and I love the goo latex stuff. So I want to play this game all the way through. But some of my sensibilities would have a BSOD if I did. Because of how frustrating it is, I mean. I guess I see what Kyra was getting at. Because I think Kyra's in a similar boat to me, because he loves TF2. Not Team Fortress 2, but TF as well, I mean. But he also, I remember he expressed at the beginning of the stream that he liked how this game did things, but he had some real issues with the game, and I definitely see why now. Damn it, I thought I did it that time. Oh, I see the black crystal now, yeah. Okay, I'll try interacting with it. I mean, for instance, right now, you guys might... I do apologize if you guys are annoyed about the discussion. I find it interesting to discuss this stuff, at least when I'm not being a complete... Oh, good, you got in my way this time. Nice. I enjoy talking about this stuff as long as I'm not being annoying, like, you know, being bitchy. I'm not being bitchy. I'm discussing. That's different. But, oh, hi there, Walker. Thank you. Thank you for popping in. But, I'll tell you this right now. Part of the reason I'm continuing this conversation is not only because it's interesting, but it's also distracting me just enough to keep me from raging at what's going on right here. Because if I were not talking about it, I think I would be a little more upset at this repeated failure I'm doing. Good catch, by the way. I didn't see that, Crystal. But yeah, but by and large, these fetish games, like, if the main motivation is seeing all the scenes and it's this tedious to get through the game, like, okay, I'm gonna say this. These games are tedious even when you, even when the game isn't frustrating to play. Getting the game overstates over and over again can be very tedious. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, don't ask. I have no idea. Damn, so close. I'm basically just bullshitting my movements and hopefully getting them in a position that I can just kind of get there. I'm just being, at this point, what I'm doing is I'm just moving illogically. Because if I move illogically, then something different will happen. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Oh. Or you could just get out of my way. That's fine, too. I don't even know why he did that. Again, RPG Maker movement. It's weird. What now? See, I look at all this. I don't see fun game design. I just see, oh, look at all the bullshit. It really does make me think of Battletoads, actually. Because the game is throwing different puzzles and challenges at me, much like Battletoads does. It's keeping a variety going. But all that variety is consistently frustrating. So actually, likening this game to Battletoads is not a bad comparison, because Battletoads has a lot going for it. There's a lot of interesting elements to it. Much like this game, having an interesting art direction, fetishes, stuff, and plot. But likewise, it seems dead set on holding its frustrating gameplay as a badge of honor, much like Battletoads. So... okay, now I'm getting attacked by a boss, because... I don't even give a shit. Oh, I just realized I didn't actually see what that did. I just kind of completed it, alright. You know what? Fine. I'll just continue, save, and then reload. I'll make a new save, and then I'll just load back. I guess. So I can see what the crystals do. Dude, look. I win because I'm stupid. You know? I win because when I don't care anymore, I just do things right. That's the thing. It seems like my secret weapon for completing something I struggle at is apathy. I didn't give a shit. I was just like, whatever, let's just die in this room 5 million times, figure out the fucking boss fight, and then just do random movements. I'm just, you know what, fuck it, I'll just start going wherever, not even giving a shit. I'll just move wherever I want to. Oh, look, I beat the boss because I did that. What do you know? Let's see what the poll result is. So that's interesting. So most of you are actually in the middle. A couple of you really enjoy the difficulty, and one of you thinks it's unfair. So as far as my opinion on the whole subject of... I think on the subject of me thinking the difficulty is unfair, that's actually that is the smallest percentage opinion of you guys. So basically, I have the least popular opinion. That I think the difficulty is unfair. Granted, I guess I could also say I'm kind of in the middle. I will definitely, absolutely state that this mechanic is mechanically a poor game. But at the same time, I do say it's kind of enjoyable to play, being that there are elements I enjoy. So I guess you could say I'm kind of in the middle, but I'm more middle negative. Middle negative, you know, I'm definitely not in the middle. I am much closer to this is a bad game than the middle. But if you broke down that chart into like different gameplay facets, a few of those gameplay facets would actually be like all the way max. Like I like it a lot. The TF stuff, for instance, and such. So maybe my sliding scale is not very accurate, but... oh, he keeps saying words. Negative neutral isn't really a thing. Well, now it is. Virus from the north kills humans. I realize there's like actually 4 branching paths here. Hold on. Oh, okay. So I got them all. I like how there's still, I assume, instant death crystals everywhere, though. Actually, I don't know if they actually hurt me now. Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess I'll just keep holding right. Yeah, see, the thing is, though, as like, I have bad and good qualities about me, and one of the good qualities is, like, for instance, I'm seeing you guys say you missed stuff, and that something I did, it's like, what, can I, oh wait, I can actually walk up and down, I just didn't know I could. Hello? Okay, never mind. I do like the art. The art is good. The style is very good, especially for, like, latex stuff. The game isn't fair, but the way you play things, even if you're trying the same pattern over again, you feel that one will eventually work. So once you have something to distract you, stop focusing. You're likely to do something else that turns out easier. Zell, I feel like that's giving the game too much credit, personally. I feel like that's just kind of lucking out. But you're right. I mean, I will agree with you that when I play a game with a particular mindset, I will generally... I will get stubborn, and then not being in the face of being stubborn, I can end up being stuck on, like, one set path, trying to make a particular idea work when I should be more flexible. And by being more flexible, I get more things to work out because I'm trying different things. So yeah, I agree with you on the subject that I can fall into a stubbornness that can make me fail at games. But I do not believe that that stubbornness really applies in this situation. This game, I mean, yeah, I have my vices, but my vices aren't the reason this game is frustrating, if that makes any sense. Certainly my vices may not make it any easier, but for instance, you might, it seems like you're, I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but I don't know for a fact. I don't see how it doesn't apply here. Well, you said, you know, I had something distracting me, so I stopped focusing, more likely to do something else that might turn out easier. I got lucky. I simply got lucky that I completed this. I don't feel like me not focusing. Yes, I feel like me not being stubborn didn't really change much. Oh, you said the game isn't fair. Okay. The only thing it changes is that I'm more likely to trigger random RNG to maybe get me through a situation. But I still feel like even while I'm being more flexible, I'm still just playing with RNG here. And just because I'm being flexible doesn't mean I'm going to succeed. Man? Oh, I thought he was a kid. Chibi, I guess. Or not kid, but like, you know, teen, I guess. Look teenage. It might be good to sleep with fear engulfing my heart. Okay. It's a great time to sleep. So yeah, I guess I'll agree with you, Zell. It does apply here. But I guess I don't care that it applies here because that won't change how the game is functioning. Like, I wish I could say... I'm going to reload now. I wish I could say that just because I'm being more flexible, then now this game will be enjoyable. And, like, you know, everything will be great. That would be great if that was the case. But I don't think it will be the case. Anyways, I'm going to get the death animation since I didn't. Oh, it's just that again. Okay. Alright, then. The only thing is this. Wait, there was more. What was there more of? Alright. Did monsters do something different here or something? Oh, or did you mean go through the animation? Oh, okay. That's cute. Also, whatever. I don't care about spoilers. Why the fuck do you want me to eat first? What's that do? I mean, maybe it just doesn't let me do anything else until I eat. When I'm being told do this thing, I want to know if you're saying that because I might miss something, or just because you're saying it. I assume you're just saying it. I know. Also, Zell, with the paths thing, when I stopped focusing, I started trying more paths. I did get through it, but Zell, I want to point this out. I want to point this out very clearly. I don't know what the fuck I did to win. That's sort of the issue. It isn't like I had some sort of revelation where it's like because I was open-minded, I figured it out what I was doing. I didn't figure out anything. I just stumbled into the solution. That's disappointing. That doesn't let me feel triumphant. Like, oh boy, I figured it out. I don't feel I figured it out. I just feel I pressed random arrow keys until something happened that wasn't a game over. That's what I feel like happened. So it's just not very satisfying, you know. But it's like, yeah, I can be more flexible when I don't focus too hard, and that's really good. And with some games, that definitely helps me figure things out, like legitimately figure things out. If I get off my stubborn mindset for a second, then I can actually find the solution to like a puzzle or get through like a pattern segment or something. And in those situations where I have the aha moment, I guess you could call it, that's satisfying. Like, that's enjoyable. But when I'm just doing random things and I guess the random thing I decided to do that time is a solution. I mean, this is less me being flexible and more me just not... I solved this because I detached. It wasn't... That's the opposite. That's kind of the opposite of being stubborn. Being stubborn is like being really set and focused on the game and like, I want to do this. I gotta do this. And that's bad. Being stubborn generally will get you stuck in video games. So, not a good character trait, something I should try to avoid. But I went the opposite direction with it. I basically went from that to barely focusing on what I was even doing, having a general lack of interest in the whole situation, and a general apathy over the result I had. So basically, while I wasn't stubborn, I may have gone the other direction with it, like the other way entirely with it. Obviously the best way to enjoy a game is to not get too serious with it. You don't want to be too serious with a video game. It's a video game. You want to have fun with it. You know? So you don't want to get too serious. You don't want to get too stubborn. You want to enjoy it. But you also want to, you want to enjoy it too. So in addition to not being stubborn and taking it too seriously, you also want to take it seriously enough. And what I mean by that is it's a video game. It's still something that you have to try at. It isn't like watching a movie or, or listening to music. It's an activity. It's something you have to try at. So while you want to avoid being serious with it, you still want to be serious enough to make that effort, to put forth that effort you need. So yeah, I guess that's kind of my whole point. And Zell, I'm not like singling you out. I'm just using your words as a good stepping off point to expressing this. So don't feel like I'm like targeting you or something. Like, I'm sure multiple people are feeling the same way as you. So, but you're the one vocalizing it, so I'm directing the statement to you. That's all. But yeah, it's like Apathy's almost as bad. Aragon's playing Dark Souls randomized. Really. I hope he actually gets viewers for that, because when I did Dark Souls randomize, nobody enjoyed it because I was actually too stubborn to try to like beat it. Try to beat like a section before resetting the randomizer. What I should have done was reset the randomizer repeatedly. That was my mistake. I should have just shuffled it more. Surprised that didn't TF me, considering there was black flecks of latex on the fruit. I guess they were benign latex or something. No, I agree to your point, but what were you what were you getting at? Because I don't think what you were trying to say was it's good to be apathetic, because I don't feel that I agree with that statement. I don't feel it's good to be apathetic to video games. I assume you do not want to imply apathy is a good thing, though. I'm pretty sure that wasn't your point. I guess the chorus, oh, it's a bird. Okay, bird, go ahead and attack me. God, take 5 years to get here. Jeez, come on. All right, I'll do it for you here.
I just realized something. This game is Phil Swift's wet dream.
I turned into Shadow Feather Guy with a very, like, nah kind of smile. Zell, that statement though. Sometimes, and Zell, please don't take this as like an attack. Sometimes I feel that you are frustrated at me, state a point, and believe it to be absolutely fact, even if it might be debatable. And what I mean by that is what you just said now. Yeah, basically, you need to try other things before getting yourself sick of the room. Oh, wait. I understand now. Basically, you're saying, okay. You're saying that if I am sick of a room because I've been stubborn with it, that's my fault. And I agree with that statement. Now, I want to ask you this statement. If I'm getting sick of a room or having trouble with a game, is it always my fault? Because I sometimes feel like you do pin it on me, like, well, Charm, if you're frustrated, then that's your fault. And it's like, I feel like sometimes it might actually not be my fault and actually be like the game being frustrating. So I sometimes feel like when I do get frustrated, I get judged for it. Like, oh, Charm, well, if you're fucking frustrated, it's like, that's your fault. It's like, I don't know. There have been times, I agree. I can't dispute that statement. There have been a number of times where my frustration is not exactly entirely due to myself. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I have to have a motivational catalyst, but yes, it more or less I'm getting myself frustrated. It's something else starts the frustration and then I carry it onward. So yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. Birds. Of course, this is even more complex when you consider that what frustrates one person may not be frustrating to another. So, it's actually impossible to judge somebody on being frustrated. But I will agree, self-perpetuated frustration is undeniably, non-subjectively, a very stupid thing. Like, a thing I should try to avoid at all costs. No. I don't want to fucking reset again. Get out of here. Alright. So, in other words, yeah, if I'm causing my own frustration, yeah, we can be objective about that. That's stupid. I shouldn't do that. And that's my own fault. If a game is frustrating me, that's a lot more subjective. Like, if I'm not causing frustration myself and it's just directly frustration with the game, that's a subjective statement and one that we can't decide so easily as to whose fault it is. Yes, I agree. Once frustrated, it's relatively easy to further rile oneself up. Frustration's sort of a thing that I feel like it gains a slow momentum and then it just starts rolling down the hill and it's hard to stop. And with me in particular, that definitely applies. When I start getting frustrated, it's like a build-up. That's just how my brain works. Some of you guys know this. Like, that some of you guys know that my brain is, I have mental issues, and basically my brain can be very cyclic and get stuck in patterns. and one thought can very easily lead to another without me really being able to control it. It's sort of like rogue thoughts that I can't even control. Like, I want to calm down, I want to stop thinking so much, but I can't. And that is actually a strong reason why I end up having the stubbornness and frustration I do in games, because of that. Right moon, 90 degrees. Okay. Do you want to tell me if it's counterclockwise or clockwise? No? Okay, whatever. I'll just fucking figure it out. Moon rotated 90 degrees is 180 degrees if they upside down. 90 degrees is turned. Turning moon 90 degrees would make it 3002. All right. Of course, if you rotate the other way, it'd become, well, technically that would become Z. That would become ZOO backwards 3. So I guess it makes more sense rotate the other way. So one can infer. Hi, Kyrio. I don't like this game, but I also like this game. I mean, I would suggest watching the footage back. Essentially, Kyrio, yeah, there's so many game design things I hate about this game. I like the art, I like the story. Obviously, I like the TF aspects, but oh my god, the game design. It reached a breaking point with the quote-unquote crystal boss fight thing, where the whole crystal area was just getting me down, partially because of the RNG that was inherently based on the enemies that moved with you. Like, there was RNG in their movements, and so one couldn't just find, like, a particular path. The correct path could very well fail you, even so, because of that RNG. But when I got to the boss fight, I was seriously so detached and apathetic, I actually beat it on the first... I didn't lose to the boss fight, I just beat it. And the whole reason I beat it was because I cared so little at that point that I just did random fucking movements and made through it because I was so random it worked, in other words. Also, oh yeah, I need to interact with this. It's very rare that I get to that point where I surrender my whole... I guess, gaming skill? I don't know how to put it. Anyways, I don't know if it opened... I know that it opened that one door, but... Hold on. I don't know. Maybe it opened that other door. Did it open this door? Yes. Did it open the other door, then? This game also clearly likes to have its little secrets. This is why I need to check this sort of thing. Not that it's really hard to check in this case. It's just a crow in my way. Okay, so that's still locked. Got it. Oh, wait, there's a pass-through thing right here. I forgot about that. So this one requires 8 digits. Gotcha. I'll keep a lookout. But at the same time, Kyrie, we were having a very true discussion about how sometimes I get so frustrated with games or stubborn that I get stubborn and I end up doing the same thing over and over again, even though it keeps failing me. And that is very realistically a problem I have. I'm very bad about that. And I was starting to kind of do that here, but then I just kind of detached. And I think I'll just remain detached with this game, because I hate saying that, because I really do like the story, I really do like the TF stuff. But I think it's best I just remain detached, because I can't see it going well otherwise. Alright, attack me, silhouette things. Okay. Oh, they're on the ceiling. I get it now. Hey, cool stripes. Yeah, Zell, that, you know the feeling then. I actually played XCOM Reboot, and I made... You know what's funny is I think I did the exact same fucking thing at one point. I just got so sick of a particular level I kept dying at that I just was like, you know what? How about you run over here and try shooting the enemy you have a 5% chance of hitting? Yeah, let's just do that. Why the fuck not? And then I actually beat the mission. But anyways, the inherent issue of this game, when I want to get down to the most base issue with this game is all about moving entities, interacting with you, and causing you a game over. Technically, it's fun to some degree because obviously the interactions are neat. But like, the problem with RPG Maker is it's just not good for that sort of thing. It's not good for chase gameplay because with the way the grid system works, the way you move to a tile, the way other creatures move to a tile, you can think you're getting past something, but you just happen to clip the edges of your invisible tiles. I can kind of liken it to... I can liken it to playing a platformer where your character's hitbox is bigger than the character, and so you end up running into enemies that you think you completely avoided. It's like that, except for take that platformer and say it's a one-hit death platformer, and your hitbox still sucks. So every single time you misjudge your hitbox, you die. That's basically a good analogy to use with this game. I was curious if that particular... I was curious if that particular cum splatter being a different shape caused me to become a different creature. No, I didn't, apparently. And yeah, Kyrio, the movement thing, I've noticed a few things. In the crystal area, one, if you hold down your movement, they get more movement points. This is exceptionally sloppy game design, and it is actually fixable. This can be prevented as a thing. Like, it is actually possible to not have that happen. Ugh. There's another issue with the crystal area. There's a save point before the boss fight. Well, there's actually 2 save points amidst the crystal area, and the first save point says make sure not to save when the enemies are around you, which very much indicates to me that, well, you can softlock the game by saving when the enemies are next to you. You load and the enemies just get you, right? So you can softlock that. Now that message there, I just felt that was a huge excuse. Like, sorry that we don't know how to design the game. Be careful about this thing. The weird thing is, it is entirely possible to reset the enemy's movements. Like, to reset them to a default position, to their default original positions. You could just have them reset to the default original positions before you save, and so you're saving with them in their original positions, which is out of your way, by the way, so... Oh. Was I supposed to do something there? I see. The razor furry goo thing turned me into a striped fox, okay. Also, just the fact that there's so many situations where this game doesn't indicate what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, God. Oh, no! You didn't just... Oh, my God. The developer... I know this AI pattern. The AI pattern this guy has... I've used it in RPG Maker too, but then I stopped using it because I realized it fucking sucked. I call it the schizophrenic movement pattern. It basically means the entity is given a random movement speed from second to second. It's not fun to navigate with. It's not fun to have to navigate around having that as a thing. In other words, take the take the RNG I already explained that the chasing has with RPG Maker because of the fact that an enemy, even while it's chasing you, can turn a random direction and completely throw off what you expect them to do. Take that and make it basically 5 times worse because now their movement pattern is schizophrenic. Or their movement speed is schizophrenic. In other words, yeah, this just isn't... I feel like this... You know what I'm really feeling at this point? I'm feeling like change should have been made on, like, a different engine. Something that wasn't RPG Maker. Something that could actually have, like, free movement, perhaps? So that actually hitboxes could line up rather than just being grid-based. Or at the very least, providing more smooth and intelligent enemy movement. Where am I supposed to go, by the way? Game Maker would probably have been a better idea. Some of this is definitely just marred by the fact that of the engine it's on. But I do have to say, as an RPG maker, myself, there are ways around a lot of these issues. It just requires a little extra know-how and a little research. You know, a little extra coding, basically. Not exactly coding, that's not exactly how RPG Maker works, but you could call it that. I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do. Oh, wait, I guess I could push the... Oh, that's gonna be hard, though. Interesting. So he has the schizo movement pattern if he sees you, but if he doesn't see you, he doesn't have it. Okay. Alright, that's nice. I'm gonna remain detached, because I just... I'm looking at this and I'm just like, yeah, it's dumb. Go figure. I think that's about as much as I can say about it right now. So I guess, well, how do I push? Oh, I see. There's a space over there. All right. But yeah, it's yet again a case of a room where I have to hope all the enemies line up such that I can do the puzzle without dying. This is yet another case where I just need to play randomly. There's something else that I can do. There's no strategy that can actually be used here. Yep, too slow. Oh, push the box upward. Why didn't I think of doing that? Oh, wait. I think I did try that and it didn't push. Actually, yeah, that's what happened. Hold on a second. Hold on. I did try pushing it upwards. That's the first thing I tried, but it didn't work for some reason. Let me try again. Or let me not try, because the enemy's just gonna hang out there. I guess I'm dead. That's cool. The tree. Okay, cool. I'll go the tree then, I guess. Okay, that time it pushed up. What the hell? It didn't work last time. Oops, I walked into that. I tried to press up, but I was between tiles, so it didn't register. I'm trying to hurry as well, obviously. Eh. That is so weird. I did legitimately push that box, but it didn't work last time. Huh. Probably just something, maybe something on my end. I don't know. I won't chalk that one up to the game, so I have no idea what actually happened. Looks like a good place to hide. Too bad I didn't actually hide for some reason. Okay, cool. I'm glad that I actually did the thing that I noticed, but it didn't work. I guess I was too late. If I was too late, I was not really given much time, though, let's be honest here. Wow, you literally have to do it, like, instantly. Alright. Actually, where did he go? Out of curiosity. Such is the motif of this game. What do I even have to say anything? It's like, so the game did that thing. It was frustrating, but go figure, it did the thing. Go figure, right? Hey, where'd he go? He went this way, didn't he? Maybe he jumped off the roof. It is open air. It's like, fuck it, I'm going to a different floor. He's made of goo. I'm sure a fall wouldn't really matter to him. Man, I really want to like this game, though. Like, seriously, I like the art. I like the... Whoops. Oh, well, whatever. Unfortunately, part of the problem with Apathy is I will also, while it can cause me to try different things and not get stuck in a pattern of trying to be stubborn, it can also lead to me making dumb mistakes. Okay, I don't even know how that guy touched me, but I'll take it, I guess, sure. No, shut up, D. God, I hate that guy. He recently, you know, he played, what was it called? Heartbound, yes. He played Heartbound recently, Map pad that is, and he I don't know if you're aware, but he played Heartbound, but he put all the tags as like Deltarune and Undertale, and did not give a shit to actually credit the actual developer of Heartbound, or say it was Heartbound. And he actually got called out by fucking Toby Fox about like, hey, actually respect people. It was pretty great, actually. I like Toby. He's pretty cool. What is with the nice garbage? Some garbage is just nice, I guess. Books. Okay, cool. Not going to assimilate you. Okay. Okay, Borg. Gotcha. God damn it. It's like... Man, I wish I could divorce elements. I wish I could divorce elements, break them down, and just simply focus on the ones I like. Because you guys are clearly loving Pearl showing up, and like Kyra's like saying best song of the game coming up. And it's like, cool. It's I want to enjoy the aspects of this game that I like, but the other elements are dragging down the whole experience for me. So it's like that dialogue comes along. This is an interesting character. He's reading books. He's not hostile. He's interesting. He has had an interesting dialogue, but I just couldn't care. And it sucks. I'm trying to care, but I actually have lost the ability to care. To some degree, at least. The only thing I can care about is how I don't care. And I care that I don't care, obviously. But, God, that's confusing. No, I can't do that. Kyra, no. If I quit... Oh, oof. If I quit now... Oh, no. Well, I guess would have to, don't I? I'm just thinking, the concern with situations like this is if I quit, I will not come back. It is nice the game has music now, though. The beginning of the game was kind of quiet. Yes, to both my benefit and detriment, I'm the sort of person that throws all his chips in. If I like something, if it's good overall, I can handle some flaws. Keep in mind, I'm not the pickiest thing in the world. I can handle issues in video games. It's just when the issues pile up too much, it becomes hard for me to ignore. But yeah, I'm the sort of person that goes all in. And what I mean by that is, if there's a good experience to be had, I'm going to be one of the most dedicated and passionate people about it. But if something's a mixed bag, with good and bad elements, I won't be able to parse them apart. There's several reasons I am forcing myself to go on, though, and it's not because of the kibble requests. Obviously, it's not, because if you recall, when I played, what was it, Pokemon Revolution for a kibble request, I played much shorter than I'm playing this game. Because I learned that, I was not at all having any detachment to that game. This game, I actually am having an attachment to it. Actually, I'm having sort of, I'm sort of having a similar thing as what I had with Earthbound. Or not Earthbound, sorry. Earthbound's good. What I mean, Undertale. Similar thing with Undertale. I really do actually hold Undertale dearly. I think it's wonderful. But at the same time, I'm not able to play it because of all the negative fan base around it. Again, it was another case of, thanks to the fact that I put all my chips in with anything I do, the fan base ruined it for me. And I didn't want them to. Keep me in mind, this isn't like me choosing. you know, some people choose to get offended about things or choose to have an issue with something. I don't choose to have issues, unless I'm being a real idiot. But when it came to Undertale, I didn't choose to have issues with it, because I don't actually have issues with the game itself. I have issues with the fan base, but the fan base was so significantly in my face that, well, yeah, it kind of affected the whole experience. And it sucks, because Undertale is great. I will never stop saying that, but I can't play it. But, so, it's a similar situation, though not identical, that I'm having right now. So, we have here a game that legitimately seems to have a lot of charm and interesting things about it. I mean, when I walked into this room and this character pops up, this Puro character, everybody freaks out. Like, oh my god, it's Puro, we love this guy. It's like, obviously, this game has a lot of charm, and you guys are just demonstrating that by expressing how much you like this character. And I like this character. I mean, I do. But like, and I read everything, I read the dialogue, by the way. I've been reading every bit of dialogue. I know I seem very distractible, but I am reading everything. And it seems like he's got an interesting personality. But, yeah, there's like a fire not in me right now. There's like, the kill in the first flame is but ash. You know? Tis but cinders. It's a bit of a shame. I'm trying to debate what to do about this, actually. And Guan, oh, you were gone. Okay, you want a quick summary, Guan? Here's a quick summary. This game has a ton of charm. This game has a great art style. Interesting TF stuff that I love. It has pretty good music, too, from the looks of it. Everything about this is very interesting. It has an interesting story going on, too. About, like, virus wiping out humanity, and then it's like, well, let's create a latex version of things so that, because the virus can't affect that, but then the latex things are assimilating things, so it's another problem. But it's all packed with really bad gameplay. Really RNG, janky, poorly designed gameplay. And right now I'm sitting here looking at all the people in this chat that can get past all that. They can get past all that mechanical issue and enjoy this game. And that is awesome. And that is absolutely something I'm envious of. Because I'd love to do that too. And that's kind of why I'm forcing myself to play it. Because it's not as straightforward as I'm forcing myself to play it. It's a mix of I am forcing myself to play it, but I'm also interested in it at the same time. I'm forcing myself through parts of it, but not forcing myself through other parts. So what do I do in that situation? I told myself not to force myself through games anymore. But this game has a dynamicism to it I can't really pinpoint. Yeah, Kyra, that's basically my expression here. I really hate how bad this game is. I really do hate how bad this game is. Because it shouldn't be. And right now, I am seriously envious of all the people who clearly were able to play this game despite that. Or maybe because of that, if you're crazy. Some of you are crazy, I know this. And Guan, again, it's not that simple. I am a fan, but I'm also not a fan. I both hate and love this game. I am on both extremes with this game. Can I just ask this about the endings? Is the separate endings something where you can get them all at the end if you choose the right things at the end? Or is it one of those things where you actually have to set up the ending you're getting way earlier in the game? Like, tell me about that, because I'm kind of curious. Oh, I guess his tells are a separate sprite, got it. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry that this is all probably fairly frustrating what I'm saying, but you have to understand the reason I'm passionate about video games at all, and the reason you guys even probably enjoy watching me stream games, is because... well, this is because of the way I work, is probably the reason you're all watching me. If I didn't work this way, I would most likely be much more boring to watch. I doubt that I would really have much of a point to having a Twitch without this facet of my personality. Like, seriously, I probably wouldn't be very interesting otherwise. So, some of you might be frustrated at me for feeling this way, but it's one of those comes with the territory things. But maybe I'll take your guys' advice. Should I stop this for now? And then come back to it later? Okay. Fair. But I also want to make sure I actually come back to it. And also, here's the thing. Coming back to it will be difficult because I will know that by coming back to it, I'm inducing more frustration on myself. It's not like I'm in a particularly bad place. Well, okay, I'm tired today, so it could have been better. You know, if I'm more awake, this stuff would be easier, but motivating myself to come back to the game. Part of the reason I'm forcing myself is because I'm worried that if I stop, I won't come back. But at the same time, this is going to be a more than one stream game regardless, so I have to face this fact either way. If I want to complete this game, I have to find some way of actually convincing myself to return to something that I know is, for all intents and purposes, gameplay-wise, not fun to play. Yeah, I'll be honest, Kyrio, this is really a perfect example of a game I probably normally watch a playthrough of, not play it myself. But the chips are already on the table. This was a game request. I had to play this. So, I'm already playing it. At this point, I may as well keep playing it. I mean, at this point, if I stopped, then all the effort through frustration I have already completed would be kind of wasted. And that almost sounds frustrating in itself to have gone through all this for nothing because I'm not even getting to the endings. That seems silly, you know? Also, Rena, you didn't actually answer my question. You get the last three at the end, the others are premature ends. Okay. I mean, I'd like to see all the endings. And D coming on in with the inappropriate questions. Especially given that, yeah. Come back when you're mentally prepped to handle it. You know, again, I'm huge into this TF stuff, so it is something that I have a motivation towards, just not entirely. I basically get I'm like a computer that gets stuck in like some sort of like programming loop when he encounters two things that are opposite each other. Like, basically when a computer encounters two bits of code that say to do different things entirely, and it creates a feedback loop. That's basically me. Yeah. I'm kind of curious also just how complex the story gets with this. This is more complex than I actually thought it would be. Ah, wolves, okay. That's what they're supposed to be. Being insulted. Not worth it? I'm not worth being a host. Okay. Also, interesting. So, I'm noticing, like, there's a lot of dialogue trees here, so do I have to go down each tree to have another chance at the break? Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna try. Humanity. You dislike the logical paradoxes, not tell us charm this. Yeah, paradoxes tend to confuse me. Also, there is also the other issue that has nothing to do with the game. Well, it does have to do with the game, but it's not the game's fault. The other thing is that I'll admit this. Like I said this earlier, but Gohan wasn't here. A few people weren't here, so I'll just say it again. I get incredibly nervous when I'm playing a game that other people have played. I feel most comfortable playing games that you guys have never heard of. This also makes Kibble requests kind of scary for me in a way, because it's usually somebody requesting something they really like. Something they know well. And if you're wondering why is it that... Oh god, there's so many questions. I am reading, but I'm going to just read kind of fast. Hold on, let me get through this dialogue and then I'll explain. But I keep stepping back every time I talk to him. Let me see. Like, I'm realizing that if I want to actually read all the dialogue, I have to kind of count. Yeah, like here, I have to go through the top option 3 times to get to the 4th list. I'm just gonna work my way that way, I guess. There's a few ways you could do a better dialogue tree in RPG Maker. One of the ways to do it is, well, one simple way is you don't have to be limited to 4 options. You can actually have a larger list than 4. In fact, you could technically have an infinite list if you don't mind making pages. So you could simply have all the questions available from the start. Doesn't work for all trees though, obviously, but depending on how you want it to flow. Also, the text is cutting off at times in the dialogue boxes, like right here. And Rena, as far as the discussion of the endings and such, I mean, I'm just cycling the my saves. Let me know if I need to do something different, I guess, when it comes up. Because he'll probably be around for whenever I'm playing this, so... So let's see, I'll select Humanity. And then... Shelter Group. But yeah, I can say this very safely. This developer has a lot of creativity. Just doesn't have game design sense. I've seen worse. Trust me, I've seen worse. Just, yeah. I'm sorry if I'm scrolling too fast for you guys. It's just there's a lot here. I am reading it, though. I am reading everything. And, of course, you guys can always just watch the stream back if you want to see it, because you can pause. Alright. And here's another host of, yeah. How much dialogue is there, though? If I were to surmise, I'm not even half done. Because if everything branches into another tree, then I'm working my way back, it's gonna be... Oh, boy. I'd like to read all the dialogue. Just wish it was easier. I'm surprised there's so much dialogue, though, when I think about it. I don't care, what? I do care, but I wish you would structure your conversation better. Can't skip this dialogue any faster. Did I do jeans? Shit, I forgot. I think I did. Remind me if I did jeans. Okay. I think I'm at the point where I can select studying now, right? Let me know if I missed something, I guess. Oh god, yeah, there is 3 trees in this. Okay. Humans suck. What are you talking about? He really wants to be a human, but I don't really understand why. Reverse furry. So I didn't actually... You know what? Since there's so much dialogue, I'll explain as we go. Shit, wait, do I need to... Yeah, I need to choose knowledge? No, wait. Was that the end of the tree? Yeah, that is right. Knowledge, okay. Better. Strange genre called fiction, huh? So, you know, I'll just pause here and explain. So, let me explain the nervousness thing. So, when I play games that a million other people have already played, I realize that a lot of people enjoy coming to streams where they have already seen the game and they're interested to see how their favorite streamer plays it. Like, I can understand that appeal. You know, seeing somebody play something you've already played or seen played because you'd like to see how their experience turns out. I get it. But at the same time, it gives me anxiety disorder. Because, I feel like there's a lot I need to live up to at that point, you know? So that's why I like for an hour or playing games you guys haven't seen before. I like introducing you guys to stuff. Because there's no expectations associated with that, you know? Also, nobody's going to be measuring up my skills to like how they saw somebody else do it. But with a game that is popular, such as Changed, with like most of the chat here knowing what this game is, that's incredibly nerve-wracking for me. Because I feel like some people are going to measure me up to other people. Other people are going to hope that things happen that may not happen with me. Like, there's just expectations all over the goddamn place. That's scary. It's because I have bad self-esteem and I don't feel like I can ever live up to people, so, you know. So when I do end up playing a game that other people have played, I tend to get very, very stressed out and try my best, and then if I don't do my best, I feel like a failure, so, you know. Peru here talking about how he's a felt experience. I feel like failure, god. Fates. There we go. Why can't he go outside, huh? He wouldn't recommend anyone playing it. Currently, I would only recommend, like... Well, let's look at the votes here. I recommend 2 people play it. The 2 people who think the difficulty is fun, you should play this game. Otherwise, probably not. Well, Gwen, admittedly, if it also depends on the approach. If somebody's like knows a game I played and they're just like, "Hey, you're playing the game? That's cool. I know that game. That's pretty neat," and they're pretty chill about it. Like, you know, if they're chill about it, that doesn't really introduce any anxiety. But it's when the people are really excited to see me play something they know, then that's where the anxiety comes from. And that's not me trying to say that I don't want people to be excited. That's actually really cool that you guys would get excited to see me play anything. Like, honestly, I really appreciate that I would ever induce excitement in another person. Like, I don't think I'm that interesting ever. So if you guys are excited to see me play something, that's really fucking awesome. I don't feel like I really deserve that, so thank you. But at the same time, it does create anxiety at the same time. I appreciate it, but I also get nervous from it. I think I've forgotten where I am on the trees at this point. I'm bet you know me, guys. I'm not good at keeping track of things. You remember the wire puzzle with the amps in the Battle Network fan game? I think I'm done with this path, aren't I? Yeah, I am. Okay. So, I guess, am I done with? I'm done with that one, aren't I? Because I don't need to do that one again. I'm gonna double check. I like how most people are not acknowledging what I'm saying. They're just going on about the game instead. You guys are excited to the point of not actually noticing what I'm saying. Well, not all of you, but you know what I mean. Thank you, Gwan. And Kyra acknowledged me too. I'm also annoyed. So, I guess I can talk about another RPG mechanic. You notice how there's a lot of cut-off words in this? And they always cut off to the right. RPG Maker is really weird when it comes to dialogue boxes. It basically just gives you this big white box and says, like, yeah, put lines down and, you know, just hit enter and put another line down when you want it to line break. But it doesn't make it very clear that if you type too far to the right side of that box, you'll have your words cut off, like survive here. So really, you kind of just need to learn where the cutoff is, like inherently, and just remember to always like press enter before you reach that point, so that your words don't get cut off. Because there's absolutely no wraparound. There's absolutely no automatic wraparound with RPG Maker's text boxes. You have to manually hit enter. Like, for instance, if I were to fix this line, I would go to the dialog box, and after the word "and," I would hit enter to bring survive down to the next line. That would fix it. But it's stupid you have to do that, but you have to do that if you don't want your words cutting off. It's very simple, it's just something that you have to notice. Wait, hold on. Wait, I didn't mean to choose that one. I am glad I can abandon the dialogue early, though, with the no more questions. Okay, let's go back in. The other playthrough, I think you had to get the game to use some other font to avoid it cutting off so often. See, that shouldn't be necessary. I do understand why that works. You can change fonts out. In fact, what I'll probably do for Zimma's game is create a custom font, or just find a decent one that isn't the default one. Because it is nice to have a different font for your game. Just adds a little bit of flair. So Puro was the one helping out. I figured that much out, though. Like, he kind of helped guide us. That's nice of him. And he helped guide us because we're too weak and thin, so he's not interested in us. So he figured he'd help since he was not interested in us. Ah, frozen for the South Pole. That's weird. Somebody else said the virus came from the North. That's weird. That is a what-if scenario that could happen, though. With the melting ice caps and such, we could end up releasing a virus that then would motivate us to become TF'd. Yes, that'd be great. This game was written, yeah, originally. The translator could have done a slightly better job, is all I'm saying. I mean, he did fine with the translation work itself, just the logistics of the translation and how the words wrap is a little sloppy. That's a minor issue, though. That doesn't bother me that much. I can understand what's being said. Still, though, for a game that's seen solo on Steam, maybe polish a little bit. Actually, that's another thing, guys. All my frustrations with this game would still apply if this was a free game, but this costs money, so I feel like my frustrations are a little more warranted at that point. Because you're actually paying for these frustrations and these janks and these kind of bad design decisions. Like, I don't know, if you're making a game for sale, you should kind of make it as fun as you can possibly do so and make it polished as you can. You know, like for instance, the game I'm making with Zimma, I'm going to have fun with that. I'm going to make it as fun as possible for you guys. I would never sell it, though. I don't feel I'm good enough to sell a video game. Simple as that. I don't think I have a level of skill and polish to actually make an RPG Maker game I feel is worthy of selling. Maybe at some point, if I worked at it. But, yeah. And Chris, thank you. If you guys... I want to ask this simple question. I want everybody to answer if they can. Despite my frustrations, have you enjoyed watching this stream? Have you guys enjoyed watching me play this? Feel free to give a brutally honest answer. Even if the answer is, honestly, you're too much of a bitch, this is really frustrating to watch. If that's the brutal answer you want to give, that's fine. But I would like to know. Did I go through what's your plan all the way at this point? I'm both trying to keep track of the dialogue, read the dialogue, and also remember where I am on the list while also talking to you guys. It's actually quite hard to do all those things at once. Oh, what? Okay, I did that. Okay, I'm kind of breaking down the tree, though. I'm getting there. It hurt me, but I like it. Oh, you sadist. You sadistin. you sadist. Sadist, I think that's how you say it. The game, yes. Other things have been less than enjoyable. Okay. Cairo enjoys having somebody to bitch out about the game design with. Okay, fair. Some parts, but when you get to the point where you're just frustrated, not so much. I predicted you'd say that, Zell, because I think at one point you mentioned that you're basically, at least in your opinion, If I'm not having fun, you're not having fun watching, so. I don't like seeing others get upset like this. Honestly, Rita, the most upsetting thing for me is the fact you can't pick games I like. And don't get me wrong, don't misconstrue that. I'm not upset at you. I'm not frustrated at you. It's frustrating to me that I can't enjoy the games you're picking, because you have been a dedicated viewer, got enough kibble to request 2 games at this point. It would be really great if I could enjoy the games, like fully enjoy the games you request. But it's just a shame you keep misreading me, I guess. And I'm not even blaming you. I'm hard to read, I get it. But it's a real shame that you have trouble reading me, because I would like to be able to make you happy with my playing of your kibble games. I mean, heck, technically you've requested 3 games, but one of them I reset your reward for, so I could, yeah, play another one. I kind of forgot about the Munchables there for a second. Just hoping you're doing alright with it all. It's really complex. I put my all into everything I do, guys. It means I suck at detaching. Detaching is actually kind of important or useful sometimes, though. By putting my all towards things, I am the passionate streamer you see me as. The reason you guys are probably even interested in watching me is because of this passion. I actually invest, I talk to you guys, I am interested in things. I really do go all in. And that is a trait I do with people, and that is a good trait I do with people. It is the reason I can be a good friend to people. It is the reason I can, well, it's the reason I truly and absolutely care about people. Even people I don't know that well, if they're showing themselves to be good people, I care about them. It's again because I tend to throw my chips down. I am very much... Oh, I didn't use this option before. Okay, got a few more here, but... Yeah, the trouble is, everything in life is a double-edged sword, you know? No matter what kind of personality or mood or emotions you have as a person, those things will generally have a good side and a bad side, you know what I mean? One person who's really kind to others might end up taking advantage of somebody who wants to use them. Somebody who rages at a video game, that might be seen as a negative trait, but then again, they might be really entertaining to watch do a stream, because raging can be entertaining. So everything has a good and a bad side to it, generally. It's very complex, it's hard to say, like... That was, what did Chris say? I love your passion, it's one of the reasons I enjoy watching you so much, I would even say you're my favorite streamer. Thank you, Chris. The thing is, though, you gotta, with me, well, with any streamer, really, you gotta take the bad with the good. So, you know, the fact that I am so passionate can also lead to me getting literally hurt by video games. Such as in this case where I'm not like sobbing in a corner because of changed. But to say that it affected me negatively is still true, even though it's also affecting me positively. Again, it's complex. Let's see, first floor. And another thing is inducing anxiety. The fact this game has numerous endings and I can lock myself out of things, that sucks. You know, I guess I don't like that game design either. Well, it's really, I'm really hitting a broken record with this, but basically the general summary is this game has a lot of game design elements that I think are bad. That is one of them, so. If you just get stronger, I'll reconsider you as a host. Oh, thank you. Aw, go on. Password, that's the only thing you need, but you want everything keep wrenching. Oh, password is what I need? I didn't even realize there was something I needed in all this. I thought it was all just flavor. I wonder how long people that didn't care about all this dialogue took to actually find the password. It's a little bit buried, so... Kibble is something that will pop up on the screen if you are watching not on mobile. It should happen on desktop, I believe. And it'll pop up on the screen every now and then when you're watching. I don't know how often. But basically you click it and then you get kibble. And then you can redeem that kibble with the same button thing. Okay. He really made a big point to say not forgetting it. I'm curious. If I ask him again, will he get annoyed? No, he just repeats himself. Okay. Okay. Is there a save point in here? No, but there are two other... I just noticed there's two other exits here. Well, I will continue on until I hit a proper save point, I guess. Wait a minute. Oh my god, that actually kills you. Oh, I got a different dialogue thing. Well, it's okay. I don't need to go through all the dialogue trees again, so it's not a big deal if I lost progress for that one thing. Right in front of you. Yes, I did, apparently. I like the reaction. Well, I'm sorry. You're leaving a mess everywhere. It's not my fault. What's the black goo do? Turn me female. I noticed that, yeah. Alright, I just gotta skip through the intro dialogue. It's all good. And Zelda, that description really does make me think of... Yeah, again, it really does remind me of my experiences of Undertale. Does the black stuff do anything? Oh. That's interesting. Again, you're leaving a mess everywhere. It's your fault, not mine. That was a good reaction. So I'll tell you this, guys. I'm gonna, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna kind of wind down this and then save and quit for now. I will come back to it. I can't say when, but I will not put it off so long that it doesn't happen. In other words, I'll probably do it in a week or two. Like, I'll do it either next week or the week after that. And is that right, Cairo? I mean, Transfer is also, yeah, transfer.com is a website I visited when I was a youngling. TF is the first thing I ever got into when it comes to fetishes, actually. Like furry stuff and such. So, TF stuff means a lot to me. It really does. Oh, that's right, I can't go through. Oh god, I didn't mean to step. Oh, that one's a male one. I know a different reaction though. So one of those is a female goop spot and one of them's a male one. What do you know? Well, I'm not even bothered about skipping through the dialogue. That's hardly an issue compared to, like, you know, having to reset a segment that is an RNG segment. Did Pokemon ever do anything where you couldn't complete it if you did something? Not to my belief, Guan. The game was very careful about that. Well, there's this show on YouTube. You can look it up. It's called Softlock Picking. And essentially, it's a guy playing Pokemon games, usually, and trying to figure out if he can softlock it by doing very specific things. Sometimes he can, but it's surprising how hard it is to actually get in a true softlock. It requires a huge amount of effort. I think every time but one, it was not actually a true softlock. Only once was it actually a true softlock. I don't even know if I need to talk to him and get the password, but I'm gonna do that. Also, Rena, please tell me that going through his dialogue tree completely and then saving, please tell me that doesn't unlock something. Please, please, please tell me the game doesn't track whether or not I went through all the dialogue. Please tell me it doesn't track that. He's asleep now. Oh, now he's not asleep. See, change states when I go in and out. It doesn't just whether or not you thank him whenever possible. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? That second sentence didn't make sense to me. Did I accidentally touch him? Oh, fuck, I didn't realize there was a dialogue option from the behind. That's kind of funny. Yeah, Cairo, it's a bit of a dead site at this point. It used to be something, but it's one of those older sites. Always thank him or you will suffer. Okay. Is that is the whole suffering part one of those non-standard game over things or non-standard ending that you mentioned? Oh god damn it, get out of here. These enemies are just a little bit harder because they're actually 3 wide but only have 1 wide hitbox, so it's slightly confusing to look at them. I am curious about that ominous line, though. The whole do not forget. What if I tried to enter the password, got it wrong, and then went all the way back to him? Would he then punish me for forgetting? I'm kind of curious. He's just being extra. Okay. But this game, you know, honestly, with how this game works, I have to ask that question. I don't, you know, it's hard to say. All right. What a weird password. Anyways, I figure this will probably... Okay. Turn off. Okay. So I can go to the library now if I want to. Yeah, I have to. Looks like you have to. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Aha! Invincibility frames. I do like the music though. Like this song. This song legitimately reminds me of a Cave Story song, and that's a good thing. Too bad it loops poorly. So that's literally a tail. That's kind of a cute way of doing a transformation, where it remains the same and just changes the rest of me and I become its tail. It's kind of interesting. A mandatory trap? Why is this mandatory? I already unlocked the door. But yeah, here's another example of, well, for those recently joining, like Guan, if I want to interact with these things, I have to game over. As you can see here. There's really no way around it. Oh. Oh, well. I guess you're just supposed to loop around them. That's surprisingly more simple than I expected, but I want to see something. I don't think I was supposed to do that, right? I was probably supposed to go along the long way, wasn't I? Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. That's what knowing RPG Maker does for you. Because if you know that RPG Maker enemies will go schizophrenic and go random directions, then yeah. And there, oh, almost did it again. Figured I should have probably saved after doing that. I did not even realize I cheated the room at first. I do want to actually go through it though, because I want to read all the posters. But yeah, I mean, yeah, cheating the room. It's me we're talking about here. Are you really surprised? Oh, I'm just going to interact with the things that look interesting, and then I'm going to cheese it again. Don't worry about it. Oh, I see what you mean. That is a... Okay, that's game... You know, actually, this game does seem to be a little bit like I Want to Be the Guy now I think about it. This game deserves to be cheesed, though, honestly. At least on a gameplay level. I do believe it's kind of earned it. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Out of curiosity, what does easy mode do? It's still a pointless mode to me since it doesn't let you see everything in the game, but I am kind of curious, how does easy mode make all this easy? Creator said this is supposed to have a slight I want to be the guy feel. I see. Oh yeah, I forgot about the troll. There's still something I want to interact with. But after that, I'll just cheese it. So we're close. Rue's like half the enemies in the game. Okay. You know, there is a small chance that I could actually get into the game using my own RPG Maker copies. If I could, I keep forgetting about the troll because I'm talking. See, here's the thing. Me being detached does prevent me from being stubborn and, like, getting stuck in a loop of failure. But at the same time, it also makes me fucking forget things. Hello, Hyper. Anyways, I'm going to choose the room. Just got to check that last poster. That's the last thing I need to do. Need to remember to actually get around the troll. If I do that, I'll be fine. Nope. Gotcha. Alright. You wanna go to my right? No? Okay, that's fine. So, yeah, I will continue this game within 2 weeks. And on a day I feel like I can do it without... Okay. Gotta wait. Gotta wait. It's really just a matter of timing. All I need is for him to do a random movement down and a random movement right, and we're basically in business. Again, this is another indication that this should not have been made on this engine. I'm surprised he's not doing it, actually. I mean, it's all random. But I'm surprised he's taking longer than normal. Alright, alright, alright. Oh. Almost had it. I love how it's easier when I'm doing things unintentionally. Then they happen much easier. This game has a problem with having the wrong engine for the gameplay and having the gameplay too difficult. Though if the developer wanted it to be, I wanted to be the guy like, then I guess he succeeded. I just find it a bit of a shame, I guess. Because I feel like this game would be... I don't know. It's great if you want to make a game like I Want to Be the Guy. I actually like I Want to Be the Guy. I mentioned this. I can't beat it, but I admire it. But this game has two purposes, guys. This game has the purpose of both being a game, but also a... Well, it's... I don't like using the term fetish game, but that's basically what it is. It's for people that enjoy this sort of thing. And... Oh, hi. Oh, this is a little mean. So if I want to see this game... Oh, if I wasn't cheesing the room, if I wanted to see this game over, I would have to do that troll room the legit way, at least twice, with no failures, anyways. Because, you know, that's the thing. It is a game where you want to see the failure states. And given that... I know I got a mash, by the way. That was intentional because I wanted to see what would happen. Because that's the thing. You want to see what will happen. But to do that, you have to accept death. Because that was a unique scene, so, you know. So there's a lot of transgender stuff going on here, too, with some of the TF, which is understandable, I suppose. Yeah, no kidding. I would theoretically hate this section normally. But then again, I've hated most sections, so what does that even really mean? Yeah, I can see myself still playing through this and enjoying it, but I really have to pace myself and pick a day where I really have the patience to deal with... Oh, no. I really have to pick a day where I have the patience necessary to deal with gameplay elements that simply do not mesh with me whatsoever. So in other words, yeah, I'll beat this game over multiple streams, but don't be surprised if I have to wait for particular moods and I have to wait. And don't be surprised if I don't do an entire stream with the game. Don't be surprised if I decide to play 3 hours and then I go, you know what, that's enough for today, and stop. Because I may very well do that. That is the thing I may very well do. Like decide, like, I'm just gonna cut myself off here, kind of like drinking alcohol. Like I've had enough drinks. I've had enough drinks. That's enough now. Anyways, mashing spacebar is trivial because I have the fastest index finger in the West, so no biggie. I am annoyed by one little fact though. I still have to deal with the crow, don't I? There is still this one little element that will kill me. That guy. It's not particularly threatening, but it would be shitty to get a game over there since there's no save point in that last room. There's a save point here, but... But yeah, mash puzzles are for... I kind of wish all the difficulty of this game was mash puzzles, because I'd probably be fine then. It's like the thing I'm good at, so... But, oh, right, there's a thing. That's another thing. Like, another problem with, just instant game over stuff when you, like, run into something. The character sprite in this is big. It's actually really big for an RPG Maker game. It's like an extra head tall. But because of that... Oh, I didn't mean to step that way. Because of that, it is actually entirely possible that I could walk blindly into something. So I would also argue that... I mean, I understand why the sprite's big. It's for detail. It's so we can see all the nice little transformation details. And that's perfectly cool. It just doesn't really jive... Again, doesn't really jive with the game design. Because game design would... Well, think about I Want to Be the Guy, actually. Perfect example. Do you remember how big the player sprite is in I Want to Be the Guy? There's a reason you play such a small character. It makes it a little bit more fair. With a difficulty, you know? I mean, granted, that's a platformer, so there's a lot of different elements to talk about, you know, different mechanical structure and such, but... So if I don't thank... Okay, so Rena, the thanking thing. If I want to get the bad end with Puro not thanking him, can I do that later? Can I just thank him a bunch now and later on still get the result of not thanking him, I guess? Yeah, I mean... Do you get the bad end right here? Much later. Like, is the bad end... Like, if I don't thank him here, will he kill me, basically? What is... Okay, how do I do it? Oh. Oh, shit, well... Okay, what would be the best strategy to... Wait, I can't thank him. Wait, I'm not allowed to thank him now. What? What happened? There was 3 dialogue options. There was literally 3... Where are they now? Well, this game is so stupid. Oh my god, okay, sure. I mean, yeah, it's not like I've had dialogue trees I could go back into before and probably expected to be able to choose those options as well. I thought you just meant make sure to thank him at some point in the dialogue I'm doing before I leave the room. I didn't realize you had to start with that. This is silly. Alright, sure. Thank you. I guess. No, you fucking don't get it. I get the whole thank him always. I just didn't realize that you had to fucking start by thanking him. It's like I wanted to say, hey, can you help me out? Oh, okay. Here's the other option. Hey, let's talk about that too. Okay, cool. Hey, thank you for all the help you just gave me. Like, that seems like a logical, especially since it's the third option. Like, it just seemed like a natural... Wait, hold on. Well, I have to reload again because there's 3 options and I only get to pick one of them once. No. The reason I'm not, by the way, I'm not frustrated because of the game. I mean, the game is... I'm used to this now with the game. I'm used to the game doing some dumb things. What I'm frustrated at is Rena going, that's why I said thank him. Like, you didn't thank him. It's like, Rena, this is moon logic. And the way you say it, Rena, I assumed it was not moon logic, because you said it like a normal person. But in fact, you meant to say it like a moon person. You meant to say it like somebody from Moonside and Earthbound. You didn't do that, though. Latex blockage. Okay. Huh. Well, so how would I, so the real question is, how would I go about setting up the bad and good version of the whole thanking him thing? How would I go about setting that up? Ah, fuck it. I think I know how I could. Give me a sec. Here's what we're gonna do. We're now abandoning slot 4. So here's what I'm gonna do with slot 4. Yeah, but Kyra, I also need to keep alternating save files because of issues as well. So I also need to keep alternating save files, but... Wait. Hold on. Okay. Maybe what I could do is the file 1 could be the one where I thank him. File 3, the one where I don't thank him. And then file 2 will be my alternate for 1 that I can save between. And file 4 will be my alternate for 3 that I can save between. I'm going to forget this, though. I'm probably going to forget this fact of this idea. Oh well. Wait. I think that makes sense. Yeah, okay, just want to make sure that, yes, I only have 4 files. I mean, if I don't get them, I'll just watch a video, but to answer your question, Guan, I wouldn't mind to get the achievements for the different endings, that's why. But otherwise, like, yeah. There's throw 3 whole section of the game for a tree mature end one. At your rate, it'll be a few hours.
Just get one ending and YouTube the rest.
See, what's not being made clear to me is, do I have to thank him every single time, or he gives me a bad ending? Or is it cumulative? Basically, like, if I thank him every single time and then the very last time I don't thank him, yes. So it's either I thank him every single time or I get bad end, then? So in other words, I can just keep playing normally, thank him here, and not give a shit about having a version where I don't thank him. Because I can just do that later. I just need to be told when the last time to thank him is. Because that's when it matters that I split the save files. At this point, it doesn't matter. I just thank him, and then I'll be fine. And hang him every single time you can. That's a little more obscure. I mean, if he's, like, randomly in some room that I've already been in, but now all of a sudden he's in there and I don't know that and I just keep on going forward, then I technically wouldn't be hanging him with him every single time, would I now? Also, so you sure that talking to every single dialogue tree is not part of hanging with him? Like, are we sure that going through all this is not necessary? Because it kind of feels like it might be now. Okay. I really can't put anything past this game. That's why I asked. Okay, I just thanked him, right? I'm blanking out my brain here. I just thanked him. So, just make a new save. I don't... Well, Kyra, everything I've said about how my enjoyment of this game is mixed, One thing about me and video games, if I'm forced to look up a guide to understand something, it makes me like the game even less. I do not like to break away from the game to have to read a wiki article, generally speaking. There's a few exceptions to this rule, but generally speaking, if you're telling me I should look up a guide, you're basically telling me to lose interest in the game, so I generally try to avoid it. I think I'm already having a tenuous grip. Wait, where am I supposed to go at this point? Wait, I was supposed to go to the side rooms, wasn't I? Hi, Drake. I like literally everybody knows this game. The performance anxiety is real. I have to live up to the expectations of literally everyone because everybody already knows the game. Holy shit. I'm just gonna resave over that because I didn't really do anything. Okay, fair enough. But most people do. Highly popular furries. I mean, yeah. Wait, I said I was gonna stop, wasn't I? I'm done. This is where we'll stop for now. I'll come back to changed. Let me think about this statement. I'll come back to change next week. Maybe I'll just do it on Fridays. That way I stick to it, but in a way that doesn't force me to do it too often. So next Friday I'll return to changed.